All right. Let me know when you plugged it on the front page. And then how do you get the chat converted to this chat?
I'll move it over as well.
Okay. All right.
You should be live.
Okay.
Do we get pick of gay? Let's see. I was gonna say, do we have a pick of gay?
Yeah, I think I put it up. Did I not?
I don't think it's.
Yeah, you're good. You're
Okay.
on. You're live.
All right.
On the way to this. First though.
All right. I don't see everybody in the chat room though.
No, they've got to re-sign up basically.
Okay.
All right. You guys need anything else? You good?
I think that's it. Thank you.
Let me know if you need anything else.
Mac's still available, right?
I think so. Yes. So if you're wondering what happened, the football gods got really angry at the Buccaneers.
I punched the computer.
Yeah. Mark threw a temper tantrum. Ginger snap, and the Bucs drafted a kicker in the 5th round. So they're making progress. Jason Light says, "No more day 2 kickers for me. If I'm going to draft a kicker, it's going to be in the 5th round, not the 2nd. I've learned my lesson."
And they didn't trade up. So, I mean, there's another advantage of it.
That's true. Yes. So Jason Light really kind of navigating the draft process now, learning some lessons the hard way. Don't trade up for a kicker. Don't draft one on day 2. Don't draft one in the 2nd round.
Right.
If I'm going to draft a kicker now, it's going to be day 3, damn it, in the 5th round, and I'm not going to trade up for one.
Maybe
So-
one day they won't draft one at all.
Let's get over here a little bit.
I'm
Oh, you're
eating.
eating. That's right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're back. If you're just joining us, football gods are angry. I'm going to upload that picture now. We're still on. You can see that. I've just got to
Hello.
add some pics of Matt Gay, who can also handle kickoffs.
So can Bradley Pinion, who
Right.
you signed in the offseason.
Right. Well, you want competition for your kickoff guy. So they're going to have
Yeah.
competition at kicker and also at kickoff.
Oh, they're gonna run a 2-kicker system.
They're going to try both kickers out. The kick receiving team will have no idea who's going to be kicking the ball. Catch them off guard by surprise.
Maybe they'll put them together in a 93 jersey and line them up like he's Gerald McCoy
There you go.
and hope to trick teams so they won't double beat him. It's the only thing I can think of at this point because this is mind blowing.
If I'm Jason, I'm sending Bruce Arians out to the press conference after this. I'm not going out there. I am not going to face the fans right now.
He's got to face the media first. Actually, he's probably lucky he's facing the media, not the
Yeah.
fans. We have to be professional. We can't murder him at One Buccaneer Place. So there we go. I almost broke my phone when I saw that. What the heck is going on? Well, yeah. Yeah.
We thought it was a joke too, guys.
Chris Fortune says, BA was just asked on ESPN why the kicker. He said, we need to score more points. Mark, do you like this gay pick?
I like gay picks.
Yeah, the fans are gonna have fun with that.
Yeah. Poor guy. No, I hate it. It's awful. It's just
Terrible.
awful. It's just awful in the 5th round. You might wait, you got the last pick in the 7th round, no big deal.
6th round, no problem.
But 5th round with talent still on the board and positions of need, I just don't see how you have Santos, Pinion. I don't see how that's a position.
You need a
of need.
right tackle.
Sycamore, number of defensive ends the Bucs have drafted in the past 5 years. 2. Number of kickers the Bucs have drafted in the last
2.
5 years. 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what are the win share splits for defensive ends and kickers?
Yeah, look at his spider graph.
Atlas, my man. I want to shoot light with a flare gun.
From T.A.
from
Mahoney.
T.A. Mahoney's. Yes.
It's like the fourth time he sent that one.
Yeah. So now I'm obligated to go to T.A. Mahoney's this week, buy a flare gun, and
No,
bring it in
in
as a
fact,
prop.
I'm going to tell T.A. Mahoney's do not allow you to buy a flare gun.
I'm buying one.
Is there a background check for flare guns?
I hope not. Actually, I'd pass a background check. I'm fine. Is it against the rules to tee up 2 balls on the kickoff? Because if we can, we are ahead of the curve. I'm going to 72-hour print and print a firelight sign.
Make sure you let them know if you report sent you.
Yeah. Jason Light's going to be calling Edmondson Electric and Security to
He
make
better
sure
get
that
some
his
surveillance.
home
Yes.
is properly surveilled
Yeah.
and controlled
Yeah.
with security. We've had some good lines. I'm going to 72-hour prints and buy a firelight sign. That's good. Best segue. Yeah. Hey, learn from the best. This guy's the best in the business right here. Oh, look, it's a bachelorette party actually at Nashville. Imagine that. Gosh,
Imagine
all
the
these women
bridesmaids.
just complaining about that. Holy smokes.
The bridesmaids are trying to hook up over the weekend, and all they have are a bunch of dudes painted, 50-year-old dudes painted in clown makeup.
Yeah.
Why are there so many smelly
Oh,
guys?
and not wanting a thing to do
Right,
with them
with
because
women.
the draft
Yeah,
is on,
yeah.
you know?
But look, I just took my shirt off. Shut up.
Yeah.
The Rams are on the
They're going to
clock.
make the pick.
Stop your talking, woman.
Yeah.
Imagine not looking at boobs for the Bucks to draft a kicker.
The Bucks had the #1 draft pick. If the Bucks are going to draft all Seminoles in all 7 rounds, and there's boobs,
I need a boat so that I can dump Light in the ocean. Light is banned from Ford's garage. Where can I get a boat? Where can Atlas find a boat?
T.A. Mahoney's doesn't sell boats.
Where could he find a boat trailer?
T.A. Mahoney's.
Okay.
I mean, his boat worked on.
If his boat wasn't seaworthy, where could he go?
T.A. Mahoney's.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe Gay can play right tackle. He's a big boy, so I'm not going to rule that out.
Light needs to go.
I mean, look, he's a big kicker.
Great. You can make some tackles.
Right. Well, you know, when we were giving up those kickoff returns for touchdowns, you know, we needed that 11th tackler on the field on special teams. We're trying to shore up every area of special teams.
Asheville makes a good point. Can't believe I'm saying this, but they should have drafted out the cornerback. Money, who went next, need competition. I would have rather have seen that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have been hilarious if Jason Light said, we're questioning, Jason, you drafted now your 10th defensive back. He could have said, I could have drafted another kicker.
I was considering a kicker at that spot.
Yeah. Check out Light's track record.
You know, and they showed the war room when the pick was made, and everybody stands up and they're clapping. I mean,
yeah. And Jason Light points to the scout, who's basically, I think Jason's saying, like, this is your ass if you're wrong, you know. When it's actually
no,
his
Jason,
ass.
it's your ass.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
He's a special teams Mike linebacker. That's right. Yep. When you want to kick off, Mike, he's your guy. We're going to kick off, and we'll get down there and make the tackle.
Atlas, that's exactly what he's going to say. Well, I mean, he
Gay's
was
a
our
big
top
boy.
rated.
How do you know that, Scott? Well, I'm just looking at the picture. The dude looks big. Let's see how maybe the camera adds some pounds. Let's find out here. Matt Gay, NFL.com. And I feel bad because people are going to do something like so 80-ish or 90-ish. They're going to make fun of his name, saying like that's a gay pick, you know, by the Bucks.
Scott just typed in gay, and his toolbar just went crazy with his search history.
the Buccaneers
about?
need a lot of
Look at this. Look at this. 6 foot 232. That is not Martin Gramatica by any means. That's
No.
like Cairo Santos is going to be intimidated by the competition, right? If you're Cairo Santos, who's like what, maybe 5'7", $140. I mean, he's going to walk out there and see this massive kicker and just be intimidated, I would think. 6 foot 232. He could start at Mike. That's like Levante David size.
How much did they just give Santos this all season? $750 or $1 million?
I think.
Look, it's Mormon Janikowski, according to Rich Eisen. That's funny.
Oh, good.
Apologize. What happened is the Bucks drafted a kicker. The football gods did not like that. Actually, the angry ginger broke his new computer.
Okay, so
He just literally broke the computer, and we had to. I'm like, well, it would have been great to save your anger after the draft because we're doing the live draft cast, and then after he like Hulk smashed the computer.
You know what sucks with my computer going to crap is I just finally threw away the boxes this week. I was like, nah, computer's running good. I'll throw away all the boxes.
It's
I'm
only a
gonna
new
send it
computer.
back.
Let's see. Maybe he's planning to change positions. He kicked 66 yards in East-West game. Okay. Yeah.
Almond said Santos was only given 195,000 signing bonus.
Yeah, I
That's fine,
did.
but
Yeah.
That's like-
Yeah. And they wanted a competition. I just thought that after the draft, it would be Matt Bryant. I thought they were going to bring him in.
Only 195,000.
In football
Yeah.
terms. Better than 700,000 right
I have to work 17 years to make that much. Can't
Where
teach
is
speed.
Riley?
And we need
Devil
some
White
guests.
was good. Devil? I think Devin.
Let's go get a guest to give their commentary of this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pick up a
please,
kicker.
please.
Yeah. Can you find the most
Opinionated.
opinionated person about special teams?
Lee Decamper coming right up.
Oh boy. Listen, I could reason away Sean Bunting and Jamel Dean and Mike Edwards. Could buy into that. And I mean, my job is to explain things, not to shill for the team or condone what Jason Light's doing. I don't like this pick. I'm not saying he's going to be a bad player. He might actually beat out Cairo Santos and be the guy. But, I mean, I think you get him in the 6th round. I just think there's other players available that you can get in the 5th round. Wadeless. Controlling the line of scrimmage is overrated, says Jason Light. And he might be better than Santos. Yeah, you're right. He might be better than Cairo Santos, yes. They needed another player to come in and compete. I just didn't think it would be a draft pick. Jordan Scarlett goes to the Carolina Panthers. So let's see where we are in terms of picks. We are at, so we're about halfway through. Well, I guess with compensatory picks, maybe not. We're about halfway through the 6th round pick, or 6th round now, I should say. Browns, Broncos. How's that story coming, Taylor?
I'm adding the details to it now.
Okay.
Honestly, just a little
Good,
I'm
'cause
shocked.
I know, because you know what? You're going to be on here selling this pick to Pewter Nation. You've done the research on Matt Gay. I've done zero research on Matt Gay.
Oh man, I was much more prepared to come in and rationalize the quarterback picks. I was fired up coming
Yeah.
in today. I was like, I did my homework. I'm ready. I can talk some Buck fans off the ledge with this and try and justify where
I need a
he's coming
drink.
from.
I need to drink my depression away. Where's a good place to grab a beer and a burger? Edmondson Electric has great beers and burgers. Yeah, they do right now because Edmondson Electric is the one who's paying for this video draft cast and draft coverage. We'll get to Ford's Garage on the Pewter Nation podcast, which we should tape a podcast today. Yeah. And we'll have plenty of time after the 7th round because they make the first pick in the 7th round.
Oh yeah, and then we can just spend the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, and if Jason Light drafts back into the 7th round by, hey, I'll throw you a 2020 6th round pick for your 7th round pick this year, then I'll just shoot him. I'm so lost on this pick. Did Light Roofie be Ace Crown Royal?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm a crown drinker myself. I might roofie myself tonight. After this. Holy smokes. Again, I'm not saying this is a bad player. Again, he might come in, and I'm saying again like Mark Cook says that. Mark's rubbed off on me. I always tell Mark, don't say again, just say it. And here I am saying that again. Matt Gay might be a fine player, and he might end up being the Bucks kicker and beating out Cairo Santos because he can do kickoffs. He can also tackle with a body like that, and he's got a big, strong leg. But I wouldn't have picked him in the 5th.
No, there's starting offensive guards.
Sure.
There's starting defensive tackles.
Yep.
There are impact players
Yes.
still available, and you're drafting what you think is an impact kicker.
And I will say this: I understand the reasoning when a player or when a person like Bruce Arians says, "Got to score points. Your kicker is your leading scorer every year." Right? I get that, but still, Scott, if you were the GM, would you have taken? Who would you have taken with this pick? I would have taken Oli Udoh. I would have taken the right tackle from Elon. That would have been my guy. The Buccaneers have rescinded the pick. They've no longer taken Matt Gay.
Well, sorry, Matt, but the longest
This
conference call is going longer than the Devin White conference call.
Really?
How many questions can you have for a freaking kicker?
He's a talkative guy, apparently.
Apparently our local media is really interested in this guy.
Yeah, can you come in?
Even
maybe?
Matt asked a question. I almost slapped the mic out of his hand.
Yeah.
He goes, what do you attribute your ability to make long kicks to?
My strong leg.
Yeah, no, I was like, come on, Captain Obvious.
I was a Jason Light supporter, but after this, man, I've lost faith.
But guys, this is a different draft. This is not Jason Light. This is a collective effort amongst this whole staff.
Yep.
This is like
Thank you. We have a savior in the house, Jay Retcher from
we haven't seen
620
this since
WD and 95.3 on your FM dial.
Lovey
Right
Smith's
here.
first year.
In the hot seat, Jay.
Oh, yeah.
In the hot seat. Jay Retcher, WD. This is Pewter Nation. Say hello.
Hey, Pewter Nation. I got my black polo on ready to go.
You fit right in.
Yeah, we did. Man.
All right, so Bucks draft another kicker.
On purpose.
Yeah, on purpose.
Somehow they didn't turn their own card in.
I guess some solace is like, all right, you didn't trade up to get him. You kind of get him. And
Hey, we were saying before,
and-
Jason Light learned a lesson. Obviously, you don't trade up. You don't do it on day 2. You don't do it in the second round.
You don't take a Florida State kicker.
That
There
could
you
be
go.
it too. But
So
I mean,
there's
so many. I mean,
progress.
think possibly 4th, 5th, 6th round. You go get a running back possibly for some
Mhm.
competition.
Oh, I don't know.
Peyton Barber.
Jordan Scarlett.
Right
Jordan-
tackle, maybe?
Listen,
Oli
that's a
Udoh?
Florida State guy
Defensive
saying take
tackle?
Jordan Scarlett.
I know.
That
No.
should tell you
Over a
something.
kicker.
Yes.
Defensive tackle?
Defensive tackle. I mean, you talk about the, all right, this is such
another
a
linebacker. Mack was still available there.
anything.
Jalen
I mean, you look, you say, oh, this is the deepest defensive
Right.
line.
All right, but take
in
a
the
look at this
draft.
guy, though. He's 6 foot, 232. We're number 97.
That's a big dude.
You have to like his mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's got thick calves. He's got thick thighs. He's got a thick midsection, right? He can anchor well.
He's
as a
Janikowski-like.
kicker. Yeah.
It's a rough call, though, man. I mean, there's so many different needs on this team. You just got to accumulate good players. But I thought Cairo Santos did a pretty decent job last year. I mean, he's settling in. He had some misses, but
Yeah.
it didn't seem like it phased him.
He's just 45 and under. I think
Yeah,
that's the
I think
limitation. It's short kicks, and he can't
What was
kick
his
off.
40 time? That's all that matters.
Oh, the comments are just already. I mean, this guy going to the drugstore to buy some razors. I'm done with this draft now.
So Gay is thick. Yeah, he's thick.
There you
You'll see
go.
a picture. He's a thick dude.
He's a big guy.
He's-
This could turn out to
he's
be the best Bucks
Janikowski-esque.
draft in 10 years. But I'm telling you, from the initial reaction,
Yeah.
from mine, it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Really?
And I've seen
That
this team make
bad?
some bad drafts.
Scott, when are you going to realize you need to include a kicker in your Bucks best bet? Yeah, exactly. I know. I should have, because I would have nailed another one.
We were just talking about it the other
Yeah.
day. Like, Scott Reynolds works on the draft starting in October, but even starting in October.
technically.
September. Okay, I don't want to shortchange him
it's
a
okay.
month. But did you envision at all that they were going to take a kicker?
No. Devin White, yes. Jamel Dean, sure. Matt Gay, no.
Not a chance.
No.
I just don't. And this is hard because you.
See, Jason Light, if it was a kicker who could kick a 100-yard field goal, never missed one in their entire
100-yard
life,
field goal.
if you're Jason Light, you still don't draft him
Yeah.
after the Roberto Aguayo disaster, in my opinion.
Especially
Yeah.
when you see Justin Tucker just get that deal and undrafted and one of the best kickers of all time. And even he
Yeah.
blew some kicks late
Oh,
in the
yeah,
year last
yeah.
year. So
That
it's,
Saints
there's no
one, it-
guarantee.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you.
Oh, man. I feel bad for the Pewter Nation out there, guys.
Making that gay guy sound sexy on PR. Well,
That's-
what we do.
You got to try to make
We
the best of a bad situation, it seems like. But my gosh,
Yeah.
a kicker. But where do you go here? I mean, you still got a couple of picks left.
Still do.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, you need a long snapper and a punter and call it a day. Let's
Right.
get out of here.
All right, so let's rewind a little bit.
Yeah,
we
sure.
got Jay Retcher here from WDE. Let's just get your thumbnail sketch on Devin White, couple sentences, and then Sean Bunting and Jamel Dean and Mike Edwards.
I mean, talking about Devin White, and you came on with us, and you guys have had it, I think, since January 18th. And I thought Devin White was a fantastic pick. And I know people are talking about, oh, Josh Allen and the pass rush. I get that. But at the end of the day, you want a guy that's going to be a quarterback of your defense for the next possibly 10 to 15 years. And I think you have a guy in Devin White. And I thought it was really curious to hear Bruce Arians just talk about it on ESPN, talking about, we're going to be playing Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey twice for a long time. It seems like, and you need a linebacker that's going to be able to run sideline to sideline, catch those guys, bring them down. You can also rush from the outs. I like that. And I get it. I know how much money defensive ends get, a Frank Clark deal, but I don't know. When you can get a game changer at middle linebacker, I mean, we've seen it here in the NFC South. Look at Luke Kuechly. He's a game changer.
And they invested so much resources on JPP with trading for him, then getting a Carl Nassib, and you had Vita Vea. So they've got some pass rush, and then in the scheme change, you bring in a Shaq Barrett, who's also going to be a pass rusher from the linebacker level. I think you're going to see more blitzing linebackers here. Monty Kiffin didn't blitz his linebackers much at all, right? And neither did Lovie Smith. Greg Schiano did. We saw a 7-sack Lavonte David season. You're going to see more of that. You're going to see linebacker blitzing up the A gap, right in the quarterback space quite a bit, Levante, and I think they're going to move him around too. He'll rush from the edge, so will Devin White. So I think the linebacker level can come through with maybe 10 or 11 sacks.
And I think Shaq Barrett is better than people are giving him credit for. I watched a lot of tape on him, but right as soon as the Bucs signed him, I said, all right, what does this guy do well? And I thought some of the best plays he had were when he was playing against the read option and Lamar Jackson, playing in that division. So when you see him, not playing in the same division, but when they did play Lamar Jackson, and I said to myself, I said, well, that's going to be interesting when Cam Newton, when he plays against him, is he able to bring him down? But the way he's able to read that, and he didn't get the opportunities to play because, you're playing behind DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller, right? Shane Ray and Von Miller. So I think now with getting an opportunity, sometimes these guys just need, hey, man, you're not having to look over your shoulder. You're not going to be having to scrounge around for 17 plays a game. Go out there and play. Let's see what you're made of. Some one-year prove-it deals, I know. But, it'd be good to have a 1-year prove-it deal for a guy and have him show up. As far as the guys in the secondary, if these are the best guys that the Jason Light and the staff think that are going to be able to come in here and contribite and push guys like Stewart and Whitehead and Carlton Davis and Vernon Hargreaves, I mean, more power to you. I mean, there's more and more throwing in this league. You see how the kind of scores these games were. And I remember you coming on with DAE talking about, it was great to win that high-scoring game early in the year last year, but let's not forget how many points they gave up either. I mean, you kind of forget that because you win the game, but you lose that game and you're like, wow, where did our pass defense? And that was when everybody was relatively
healthy. And you saw the lack of speed in the secondary really show up against the Carolina Panthers in Carolina, against the Chicago Bears on the road, where they're just getting misdirectioned and just simply outrun. And now you have guys that in Sean Bunting 4.42. Jamel Dean 4.3. I've got some intel. They actually had him hand timed at sub 4.3. I mean, he is just an absolute burner. And then even at safety, getting a tick faster with a 4.50 guy with Mike Edwards. So we'll see how these guys play. But at the end of the day, you can have all the technique. You can have the ball skills. You can have the instincts, but if you can't catch up to guys blowing by you, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's a great point. And I think
especially in a division, and you mentioned those fast running backs. You got Calvin Ridley, you've got Julio Jones, you got Michael Thomas, you got Ted Ginn Jr., you got Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore in Carolina. So there are some fast receivers here in this NFC South as well, and quarterbacks that can get them the ball.
And I think one of the huge parts about this, and I don't know how many wins it's going to equate to, but for how many years have and this, coaching some football and I know it from coaching baseball and coaching hockey over the years, is that as a coach, when you have a system, it's your job as the coach to be kind of the mindset to go, this is my system, but I have to adjust to certain players.
Right.
And I feel like there's been such a stubbornness in the last couple of years with the Buccaneers, whoever it is, whether it's Lovey or Dirk Cutter, where it's like, this is the way we do things. This is how it's going to roll. You guys have to adjust to us. Good coaches don't do that. Good coaches change things and make sure you put guys in a position to succeed. What did I miss? Which one did you see?
The Night King. The Night King is going to reanimate Malcolm Glazier to go after Light with a kicking tee.
Oh, man. Is that a spoiler? Is that a spoiler for tomorrow night?
Oh, that guy gets a shirt. That guy gets a shirt.
Mike Johnson gets a shirt. Write it down. The Night King
That's
is going
great.
to reanimate Malcolm Glazier to go after Light with a kicking tee.
That is awesome. Mike Johnson, you may win the day. That was a better pick than
Oh my
pick
God.
for the kicker. Oh my God.
Oh, that is
So I
great.
guess he just said in this conference call that even he was shocked. Matt Gay was
Yeah,
like,
he did.
Might have got the call in the
Yeah,
6th or 7th.
he thought he was going to be
Yeah,
undrafted.
Matt Gay was like, "This is the last spot I thought I would be drafted."
He goes,
Given-
me? But
Tampa
you
Bay.
know what I'm saying, though.
Yes.
With coaches, put your team in a position to succeed and change how you are to make
Yeah.
yourself. I mean, one of the big things I remember growing up north was, Tom Coughlin was such a hard ass when the Giants in 2006.
Right.
And he starts walking down, and
Yeah.
Michael Strahan goes, he's not listening to him. And he
Mhm.
goes, you got to listen to me. You got to listen to me. He's like, you're losing your team. Are you listening to me? And that guy changed everything that he did,
Yep.
and boom, they ended up winning the Super Bowl that
Mhm.
year. So you have to get to a point where if you're going to change your system, you got to adapt to the players you
Right.
have. Look no further than Vernon Hargraves. I
Mhm.
mean,
He was a press man corner,
God, it
and
doesn't
he
make-
was totally
how-
miscast. here
How
with Mike
stubborn
Smith.
do you have to be? I
Yep.
mean, it was Lovie Smith. It was like, all right, well, we're going
Mhm.
to take the play calling duties away from Leslie Frazier. I'm like, okay.
Right.
If you're known as a defensive guy and your defense stinks, then
Mhm.
obviously you're not going to have a job for very long.
Yeah.
If you're Mike Smith and your defense is constantly giving up yards and points, and you're like,
You're-
no, we're
You're
okay.
going to get fired.
It's like
And he
you
did.
don't have to reinvent the wheel,
Right.
but you have to make adjustments. And it's just
Mhm.
there's so much insanity here in Tampa Bay where it's like, well, I'll just keep doing the same thing.
Bill Belichick gets so much credit for a lot of things, but the best thing that aside from developing that winning culture, that mindset, what makes Bill Belichick the best coach of all time is the in-game adjustments.
Without a doubt.
He does it better and faster than anybody. And trust me, and it's crazy to think this, but if you've ever coached football before, and I coached at the Pop Warner level, we're talking 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds, but football is still football. You have 4 quarters.
Yep.
The clock is ticking. You only have X amount of possessions in a game, right? And Pop Warner, it was about 6 possessions because you have the running clock. That's it. In the NFL, you're going to get between 10 to 12 possessions, depending on turnovers and how long drives are. And that's it. And so if you don't make an adjustment during the time when your defense is on the field, or I should say on the sidelines, and you're going to go out there again and give up 7 more points or 3 more points, time's ticking. After halftime, you only have maybe 4 or 5 possessions left.
Mhm.
And it might be too late at that point in time. And that's where Bill Belichick just completely excels, is making those in-game adjustments, something that Mike Smith just did not
And
do.
you see it at the college level too with Nick Saban. He does the same
Of course,
exact
yeah.
thing in the second half. And
Yeah.
I think
Jalen Hurts, who got us to the championship game, is not working against Georgia. Let's just put in Tua. And then he brings
nobody
them back
has
and they
the
win.
stones to be able to do something like that. But
Right.
you have to believe in
And it was
yourself.
totally the right move
And
because they had to
believe in
pass the ball.
you believe in
Yeah.
your system because you do your homework beforehand so you can make that necessary adjustment. I mean, yeah, that game against the Saints was bad last year, but
Yeah.
look at the game against the Bears. It was like that offense wasn't scaring anybody
Yeah.
going into that game. And,
And
then
it-
Mitchell Trubisky has a career game, and
they
it's
kept
like,
scoring the touchdowns out of the same formation over and over and over again. It was ridiculous.
and it's bad when you could see it on the outside, when you could see it on TV, and it's like these guys are getting paid millions of dollars
Yeah.
to coach. And the coaches are going to say, hey, if you're a guy that doesn't tackle well,
Yeah.
or you're a guy that drops passes, or you're a guy that's not blocking, you're going to have
How
your
many
feet held
remote
to the fire.
controls? How many TVs were broken last
What's
year?
the
watching
over-under?
Mike Smith's defense.
It's got to be
So
500.
this is a good point. If Devin White was such a huge need, then what happens if he gets hurt? We had Mac Wilson and Blake Cashman and Vashawn Joseph all available at this pick. Well, part of that is,
The kicker's going to play.
yeah,
The
you-
kicker is big enough to be the
you found a starter in the 5th round if he ends up being the guy. Those players you mentioned, Vashawn Joseph just got drafted.
but he's the guy that probably should have not went into the draft.
Mac Wilson just got drafted. Blake Cashman just got drafted. So there's something. Oh man, Byron Coward just got drafted. That's another Bucks best bet off the board. Yep. But so those are guys that fell to this spot in the draft, and they fell for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe one of those guys should have been the pick other than this. I get that.
To the Houston Texans for making fun of them taking Titus Howard in the first round.
Exactly. Yeah, the football guys did not like this pick whatsoever.
Definitely not.
So
you're saying about the need there for
Yeah,
Devin White.
it's-
But, you know, I think about it too is like, I think
they
it's-
have Kevin Minter and Dan Buchanan
yeah,
to
but
fall back on.
those guys aren't. You know what I mean? You're looking
not
at middle
Devin White, yeah.
linebackers compared to some of the. Look at the linebackers that the Falcons have.
Right.
They understand what they have to bring to the table to be able to compete in this division. I mean, the Saints are getting better at that position. We know what Luke Kuechly has done for the last couple of years with the
Right.
Carolina Panthers. You need a guy in the middle,
Mhm.
and it's not. And the thing, the big misnomer is it's not about. Only drafting for need and only drafting for the best
Right.
player available. It's not black and white. There's a lot of gray area. There's a lot of times where a guy can actually check off both of those
Yep.
boxes. And I think that's the case here with Devin White. What if you get a guy like Josh Allen there and he can't stop the run?
Right.
You know what I mean? At this level. And he gets dominated every single time and then becomes a situational pass rusher.
Mhm.
And then you go, man, you drafted a number 5, a guy that's only going to be out there for third down
I
for
know.
the 5th overall pick. And then you see Devin White go play for the Giants or somebody else, and he's going to be a perennial Pro Bowler and he's
Right.
going to be in Canton one day. I know that's kind of looking too far down the road,
Sure.
but I want a guy that's going to be out there definitely for 3 plays and a guy that's going to be a quarterback. He's going to call plays. There's a lot of intangible things that middle
Mhm.
linebackers do that I don't think you can put in a number
Mhm.
that you're not having to worry about for the defensive end. How many defensive ends
Right.
out there they go, all right, bro, just go rush the passer. Go do
Yeah,
that.
and the other thing too is just the culture changing leadership ability too that someone like Devin White
Yeah.
has. It's just different. It really is.
I mean, I know he's not here anymore, but Quan Alexander got a pretty good contract for
Oh,
a guy
yeah.
that's had a checkered past with getting suspended
Yeah.
and also getting injured. But
He's
why do you
missed
think
18 games in 4 years? Only played 16 games in one season.
But why do you? That's the key right there, though. Why do you think he got such a big deal with San Francisco? Because you see the value of having
Right.
a quarterback on the defense, and the little that John Lynch saw from him because he missed so many games,
Right.
he must have liked him.
Yeah.
And you guys saw it. I mean, did anybody take a loss harder than Quan Alexander? I mean, when he
Right.
talked after every game,
Yep.
and he was accountable, and he was out there busting his butt.
Yep.
Charles Omenihu.
Charles Omenihu, that's Taylor's guy, one of the Texans, staying in state, getting that
So
Texas
many
Longhorns.
picks that would have been better.
Agreed.
Then who?
Literally,
Then Matt Gay.
literally everyone.
Watch Matt Gay come out and be the next. Nah, I can't. He can't
Oh.
even.
If,
I mean,
if
would
he, if
be
he-
the
if
next
he
what?
does, if he does, then if he does, then listen. That is Jason Light's ultimate redemption story. Is I made a mistake, I repented, and then God gave me Matt Gay in the 5th round, and he became the next Martin Gramatica in Tampa.
I just.
If
Bucks
you're
fans.
Jason Light, you're hoping for that kind of redemption.
Bucks fans deserve better, though, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do.
All right, I got to head back to work.
Hey, appreciate it as always.
Always a
Jay.
pleasure.
Thank
These
you.
guys
Yep.
rock. Keep following Pewter
WDA,
Report.
our
Jay Retcher,
partners, definitely.
at Jay Retcher, at Pewter Report, at Mark Cook 1970. Twitter.
There we go.
Thanks, guys.
Excellent. You got it. So very cool stuff. We're gonna have Riley Almond back in here. We had to, sometimes there's just a seniority thing when you're a minor.
Yeah.
When you're under the age of
Technically not even
18,
allowed to be here.
you're fortunate really to be on
Right.
the broadcast.
Right.
And if we have to preempt you for Rick Stroud, we're gonna do it.
Right.
Right.
And I told him as we were walking in, I said, if Rick comes in, you're off.
Exactly.
As soon as Rick walks in, he's like, I'm out.
If anybody comes in, really,
Yeah.
Hey, I need to take a break here.
Kind of help bring Riley in, and then
Yeah.
me and Riley can chit chat.
Sure.
We can riff.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So, any questions for yours truly, other than why they draft a kicker in the 5th round? Yeah, I probably should. God, my phone is blowing up with this kicker stuff. Holy smokes. Too many people have my number. I'm not going to tell you who this is from. Not anybody with the Buccaneers. This is a pretty funny text. This is just some of my friends. A kicker in the 5th round. A freaking kicker again with Cowart on the board. What is wrong with Jason? The man is a masochist. Do you remember when I was telling you guys that you fans have it lucky? You think that, oh gosh, I'm a Bucks fan and I got to watch this crappy team every year and hang in there and I got to put up with this and it's hot out in the stadium. Listen, you guys have some privileges that I don't have. Number one, you can drink while you're watching the game. I do that when I'm at home. When I don't go on some away games I do go on. I'm going to London this year. So if anybody is from across the pond, let's meet up in London and have a Guinness and talk some Bucks football. But at the stadium, especially, unless we get down to our suite, it's hard for me to. I'm getting inundated with messages here. It's hard for me to have to watch the product on the field, which has been 5-11 the last 2 years, and then have to go listen to the players talk about it, and then listen to the coach talk about it, the losses, the bad play, getting beaten soundly by other teams, by sometimes self-inflicted wounds. Then I have to transcribe those quotes and hear them again. Then I have to write about the story, or write the story about the game I just watched. Then I have to watch the game again when I get home, which usually is not Sunday nights because I'm done. So it's on Mondays. So you guys can have the ability to turn the TV off, go outside, do something else with your Sundays, not watch the game again. You can leave the stadium early if you want to. You can just skip a game altogether and go to Busch Gardens or the beach. I don't have that luxury. I know I get paid to watch football. It's a cool gig. I'm not complaining, but man, at the same time though, it's been rough. Because trust me, there was a time, there was a period in time where I started in '95. So like by 1997, I'm walking into a locker room, and then certainly like '99, even 2002, right? I'm walking into the locker room in 2002, and I get 45 minutes in open locker room. And it's like, well, who do I want to talk to today? There's Simeon Rice, and there's Warren Sapp, and there's Derek Brooks over there, and there's John Lynch, and there's Mike Allstott, and there's Keyshawn Johnson over there, and Greg Spires is a good quote. There's Brian Kelly and Rondé Barber. It was like a Pro Bowl locker room, and those were the days. Those were fun times covering this team back when they were winning. I will bet that no one in this chat skips a game. Probably agree. Y'all are diehard fans hanging in there. We need tackles and guards. Well,
No, they don't. They need kickers.
yep. The Patriots just drafted a punter. Well, you know what? The Patriots can get away with it.
And they
Go
kinda-
Belichick and say, screw you, as he like backhands the media with all of their rings on his hands.
You know what they also have? Depth.
Yes.
Pretty much everywhere. So they have the luxury of drafting a
Right.
punter in the 5th round.
He also has a resume in taking a kicker in the 3rd round. He turned out pretty damn good.
Can Mark join the screen? Yes, he can. Mark's going to replace me. Here is your ginger snap, everybody.
I'm not talking. I can't do this anymore.
You have nothing else to say?
I have nothing. I
Nothing else to add?
I spent all last night trying to justify Friday night's draft selections. I got nothing on this kicker. Nothing.
I'm going to go try to find some vodka for this Red Bull
God.
because I need some right now.
Yeah,
time is it?
I am literally falling asleep. It's not even 3:00 yet.
It's time to start drinking.
And we're only in the 5th round.
Is your phone getting just completely blowed up with people, like all your friends just saying, what the hell, did they really draft a kicker?
I had
What
a
is
couple.
going on? I just got one I just read. A freaking kicker again with Coward on the board. What is wrong with Jason? The man is a masochist.
My son just sent me 3 laughing emojis. That's all. No reference to it at all. I knew exactly what he was talking about.
And you wonder why Ellie's a Seahawks fan and Logan's a Ravens fan. You wonder why I can't get my own kids to like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Wow. Again, if I'm Jason Light, I'm sending Bruce Arians out to do the press conference when the draft is over. I don't know that I'm going to be able to stand there and with a straight face and try and justify that pick. Not when there was linebacker depth, not when there was running back depth. Literally any position. any position other than another kicker. I just I'm perplexed. I don't understand. I don't understand. I got nothing for you guys. I mean, if you want to ask something, that's fine, or I'll read your comments. But if you're looking for commentary right now, I got nothing. A Minihue would have been good. Jordan Scarlett, a Gator, I would have loved to have seen. A violent runner. I don't understand. No, not a long snapper, please. I mean, well, hell, why? Joel Bennett says your leading scorer is your kicker. Okay. Good. And don't get why everybody is upset. Last 3 years we lost by missed field goals and cornerbacks getting burned. Well, yes, I agree. And also interceptions and also fumbles and also inability to tackle running backs. I mean, there's a million reasons why this team's lost. It's not just because of a kicker and the DBs, but again, the transition from college to the NFL for kickers and the fact that Jason Light has already done this and it was a complete and utter flop is just amazing that he would take that gamble again. And we had the conference call with Matt a few minutes ago, and just as stunned as you are and myself, he was just as surprised he was drafted. He said he had a little bit of interaction with the assistant special teams coach, not with the head coach, not with the GM. And he's just as shocked as anybody. He said, he thought maybe he might go 7th round, but he really expected to go undrafted. So I don't know. No, I'm not going to ask Light if he's applied to McDonald's yet at the press conference. Listen, if he does get fired, he's got a lot of money in the bank. So, yeah, Mark, you're going to have to go from dipping to straight smoking cigarettes if this keeps up. I may go maybe take it a step further. Somebody said the math is crystal clear. TD wins, field goals lose. I mean, they could have got this kicker in the 7th round probably. And I expect we'll hear Jason Light said, no, they really had their eye on this guy and they really wanted him and they had him even rated higher. And they were afraid if they didn't take him in the 5th round that he wouldn't be there in the 6th or the 7th. He would have been. He would have been. And you know what? If he wasn't, it's not like you don't have somebody on the roster who did a pretty decent job last year in Santos. I don't think the Bucs lost any games last year because of Cairo. I don't know. Somebody said, how hard is it to keep a stream up? Is the stream not working now? I see myself. Bobby Boucher is still available. That's true. What about the kicker in Ace Ventura? Is he available? Was his name? I don't know, man. I'm just shocked. No, technically it wasn't Bucks equipment. It was our computers. However, we're in their room, so you never know. It's working, just lags occasionally, not a problem. Maybe that's the Wi-Fi on your end. Maybe I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, who knows? Wow, Scott left we're on his computer and he has iMessaging, so I'm seeing all of his texts from people right now. Not real happy. Thing is, you're right. The Matt Bryant curse. They had a chance to rectify that by signing Matt Bryant. Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, you brought in Bradley Pinion, who I think is an upgrade over Brian Anger, but a guy that also handles kickoffs. I asked Bruce about that specifically in Arizona, and he goes, "Oh yeah, he's going to be he's our kickoff guy." Didn't even hesitate. Maybe he didn't anticipate drafting a kicker. Should we have Light be given a drug test considering all the picks he has made? That's a little rough. But it's a head scratcher, man. I just walked back in the media room and, the other riders were just kind of shaking their heads as well. Riley Almond's head was down on the desk. He was snoring. He just couldn't even look at the screen anymore. That may be because he was actually at the event. Him and Greg went to the Avengers movie when they left here last night at midnight. And that's a 3-hour movie. So say the movie started at 12:30 or 1 o'clock. They're not getting home till 4:30 or 5. So poor Riley's a little tired. Is the media room like a funeral right now? Yes, kind of. Now, for one thing, there was hardly any. I say hardly. There's the hardcore writers are still there today, but all of the fringe media have disappeared. And there he is, Riley. I was just telling him how I went in there earlier and your head was down on your desk after that last pick.
Hey man, it's rough. It's rough. If you're Jason Light, you look at it and you say, "What's your biggest mistake?" And you just said you want to go back and just try it again.
Maybe he's trying to tempt fate and make up for a mistake
Who knows?
by compounding it with potentially another one.
They just gave Santos $200 million or $200,000 guaranteed last month. So I don't know. I understand it, but who knows? It's not like they've had a high amount of a retention in their 5th round draft picks, anyways.
So we've seen a couple Gators go recently. Joseph, the linebacker, Jordan Scarlett,
Running back.
Gardner Johnson went earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
I think Florida State's still stuck at 1, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Brian Burns. Yeah, I
Burns
can't think of
is-
any other ones.
Yeah, I can't think of any of those.
Who else is potentially being drafted?
Christmas will get drafted in the next 2 rounds, but
Who?
Ricky or DeMarcus Christmas?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he might be a 4th or 5th round guy, and we are still in the 5th round. But
We have 5 picks left in the 5th.
I would have taken DeMarcus Christmas. I would have taken Jordan Scarlett. I would have taken Joseph. I would have. It was not essentially Byron Cowart. I don't know of anybody that I would have not taken over that pick of a kicker. But
Nah, I think I would take it just about anybody as well. I think that what's it called? I think especially looking at running back, guys like James Williams are still available. He was one of the better receiving backs in the country last year.
yeah.
Washington State. I think there's plenty of guys that they could have looked at, and they just kind of took a kicker before a gap of 50 picks between their next pick. So I don't exactly get that.
CeCe Jefferson, keep an eye on him. Did he come out this year?
He's a senior.
Was he a senior?
Him and Martez are just 5-star recruits. He didn't pan out at all. Nah. Yeah, I would have.
Minihue like that. Would have liked that.
I know.
more
I mean, he
so.
had a fair amount of buzz at Senior Bowl. Surprised he slipped as far as he did, but it's good for him, I guess, to get off the field, get with the team.
Let's see, what pick are we on now? 5th round, 169. I don't have a computer up enough to know
We pick a 208. That's our next pick.
what number.
208, I believe.
208.
Yeah, we're about 40 picks away still.
Wow. Quite a ways away.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, CC was a bust. Yeah. I think CC showed some promise his sophomore year. Turns to being a 3-tech, but he didn't really panned out. Neither of those guys who got recruited by Muschamp really did. That class looked really promising on paper, just never really panned out. Trade back and select a punter. Hey, man, we already got one off the 4th round today. I know we're getting another one.
any D-line or running backs left? I mean, yeah. I mean, there are guys left.
I mean, there's always kind of some level of depth. I don't know. At this point, is Kelvin Harmon gone?
I don't remember.
I don't think Kelvin Harmon's gone, and I liked him a lot. So I mean, there's probably some type of a knee condition or something that's going on with him there. But still, I would take a shot at him in 6th round. Why not just add a warm body receiver room, I guess? Yeah, 5 picks until 6th. We got Cleveland, New York, Atlanta, and Washington, and then we're in the 6th.
Yeah, this is not the good vibe. And again, look, 5 years from now, we all may look back on this rally and say this was one hell of a draft class. Hey, man, there's a Pro Bowl linebacker and a Pro Bowl cornerback, and damn it, there's a Pro Bowl kicker that came out of this. But I'm just saying, from a instant reaction dip your toe in the pool to test the water temperature, it ain't real good amongst Buccaneer fans right now.
Yeah,
And-
Bucks
and-
fans don't feel great about it, which I don't think is like an indictment on what could be Jason Light's last draft class with the Bucks. I think that they did a good job of finding guys early on. That's gotten progressively worse as they took 3 straight defensive backs last night. And
It's kind of par for the course, though, right? I mean, day 3 guy is not this team's
Forte?
forte.
yeah, I mean, who've
Not
been the
this
guys?
regime's
Who've been the
anyway.
guys they've really hit on day 3? Really,
One.
Quan is bad. Quan's your one pretty much example. I guess Pamphil was here for 4 years, but he's not even in the league anymore.
Joey Iosefa. You guys forget about him. Danny Vitale. Vitale's still bouncing around the league with the Packers these days.
Is he with Packers now? I thought he was
Yeah.
with Browns.
He was, but now he's with the Packers.
Hey, I guess good for him for keeping a roster spot. I
His
know he.
team is nowhere near good enough to make luxury kicker picks.
Yeah,
Can't argue.
I don't know. We weren't good enough to make luxury kicker picks 2 years ago, and we made them. So that's kind of how it is. Front office use Madden.
Yeah, this is.
All right, so Riley, let me get your thoughts here.
Yeah.
So Tyree Jackson goes to the Senior Bowl, has a pretty good showing in the game. Big, raw physical tool set, size, big arm. You saw Easton Stick and Clayton Thorson, 2 guys that I do not think will cut it as NFL passers. Get
Not at
drafted
all.
ahead of him. It's an attitude issue with Tyreek.
That's confusing to me. I think those 2 kinds of guys who think will be white war warriors for teams, guys who they get in the interview room, and I think they'll do well there. Not to say that I don't think Tyree would do well there, but I do think those are 2 guys who I would have predicted that have done well. I also know that at the start of this year that people were saying day 2 buzz for Clayton Thorson, so I guess I'm not that surprised that he's going day 3. Easton Stick's the more confusing one to me, especially as a guy who's inefficient at the FCS level,
Right.
and definitely looks like a guy who's going to end up playing tight end for the XFL in a couple of years or something like
Right.
that. But still, I don't know. He's not even. I guess he's their 3rd quarterback there. They got Geno as a backup, so you know.
I know we're supposed to be talking. It's just I'm
Yeah,
just
we
I don't
have
even know
all.
what to say. This is just I didn't know that they could get a worse vibe feeling in our room than last night. But again, you can we talked about it. Scott wrote a column. I thought about my thoughts on what happened last night. Okay, you can make arguments and make cases for it, whether it's right or wrong doesn't matter. You can make some arguments or cases. It'll be interesting to see what Jason Light has to say about this kicker draft. Scott, you should probably turn your iMessaging off when you're using your computer,
Yeah.
especially when we get these inappropriate messages come across the
For
screen.
my wife, yeah.
I need to block these from
Yeah.
Riley.
Yeah.
Bro, just get some sticky note or something.
By the way, on my new laptop, I have that. It drove me insane. I immediately disabled that function. Thought, oh, this is
Hey,
pretty
another
cool.
5th round kicker, Austin Seibert from Oklahoma.
Oh, we're going to run on kickers.
Kicker run starting.
See what the Buccaneers started.
Bucks now have what? Bucks aren't the only ones who've taken kicker top 200 since 2011 now. It's
For a while, the Bucks have been considered the Browns of the NFC. So this is
hey man.
in line for the
Great.
brand.
Well, Riley, I'm going to Tallahassee tomorrow.
You are?
So-
Nice.
So, at least I can shake this funk of this draft off. Get to go to God's country.
Come on, man. Hey, just stop on Gainesville there. Then you'll get God's country. Then you can just
Lord.
kind of go to the wasteland.
I'll stop in Micanopy, have a bite to eat, the Florida Cafe there, but I don't think I'll be stopping by University of Florida for any reason.
Hey, you're lost, man. You're lost. More for me.
No, the main reason I'm not stopping Gainesville is I don't own a hazmat suit. I don't want to catch anything. Hepatitis outbreaks are really, really bad right now in Florida.
Man, listen. You gotta watch out. Tallahassee's even worse. Tallahassee's even worse. Darius Slayton. Isn't
You know what I'm
Slayton
looking
local? Isn't Slayton local? No, it's Ryan Davis's local. I'm sorry. This is Jefferson.
You know what I'm looking forward to in Tallahassee?
Another 42 season.
Whataburger. Not in Whataburger around here. You had Whataburger before, Riley?
You know what? I had it when I was in Mobile. I hadn't ever had it before.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man.
I had it once in Tallahassee.
I'm gonna have it.
Yeah, it's good.
And then Crystal River Seafood. I think it's the name of it. It's either Cedar River or Crystal River. I can never remember the name of it, but it's right off the interstate. And I always eat there every time I go up for anything in Tallahassee. Amazing seafood meals.
Yes, sir.
Matthew's leaving Tallahassee. Vin, is that how you say your name, Vin? I'm sorry. I haven't read your name one single time in 3 nights because I couldn't pronounce your name. Vin Tran?
Yeah.
That's his name? What are you, an expert in Vietnamese?
Yes.
Speak Cantonese?
Dong Sung Hewa?
Time? That's very racist. Stop.
What?
What did you just say?
Dong Sung Hewa.
Dong Song Haewang.
No, it's not Hewa.
Yeah, Dong
Dong
Song
Song.
Haewa.
Not, but you said Hewang. It's not. It's Hewa.
What does that mean?
It's for you to. For me
You're
to
just
know,
making
to
up
find out.
stuff. That's why it's racist.
Ja, van Totenhasen.
Matt Gay can play for Man U. Maybe.
Do you guys see his bio on NFL.com, Matt Gay?
Tell us about it, Riley.
Hey, man.
You posted some information that was really pertinent because
No.
you need a strong-minded, strong-willed kicker.
Amen. I don't know. All it said that was
Mental
that
toughness.
he didn't go to college right out of high school because he blew out his knee senior year,
Oh,
and then what's it called? Oh, and then he went to serve a 2-year church mission. Then he came back after 6 months because of depression or whatever. It's kind of out of left field.
Hold on. So he hurt his knee, which is either the plant leg or the kicking leg, right?
Yeah, of course.
And then he did
my
not
head
do the
is
full
going to
commitment.
explode.
He came back after 6 months for what?
He was on a
Church
church
mission.
mission, but he I don't know,
He's a
depressive
Mormon.
symptoms. I don't know.
He was depressed.
And then he went and played soccer for a while. Then he tried for BYU. BYU didn't want him.
Is he
Then went
30
to-
years old? How old is this guy?
I actually don't know. I'm about to look it up.
A kicker with a knee injury, somebody said. Wow. A kicker with PTSD.
I'm sorry. The best comment that I've heard so far is the Night King is going to reanimate Malcolm Glazier, who's going to kill Jason Light with the kicking tee. That's the best.
Damn it. They don't got no age on him.
Somebody says, oh, no, not a basket case kicker. Aren't they all a little bit of a basket case? Where are we at over there, Taylor? What are we on now?
Still in fifth round.
Oh,
Minute.
boy.
Got a minute.
This is just dragging now.
When you thought there was like a sign of hope with Anthony Nelson.
Yeah, a little
Like,
bit of hope.
Signs of life.
Okay, we're back to normal.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, defensive end around 4, right tackle around 5, maybe a running back.
Jason
Yeah.
Light's just saying, I'm not stringing 2 good picks back to back. Just not going to do it.
Yeah, we're at last pick of the 6 right now.
The Buccaneers are. So you have to wait for the whole 6th round before the Bucks pick again?
We're waiting for the.
They only get like 12 seconds per pick this round, though, right?
No, it's still 5 minutes. I don't know.
We go
It's
to
still
what's it called? We wait till 2:08.
So Matt gives 25.
Who's the best quarterback going to be available next year? Just asking for a friend, Riley.
Who knows, man? We would have said what's it called? We've been saying like Ryan Finley's best quarterback available this time last year. I think Tua looks good. If Tua measured at 6 foot
He's the Oregon
216.
kid, right?
Justin Herbert.
I think Herbert's there. I'd probably take Fromm over Herbert right now,
Yeah.
but that's just me. I think Tua's probably cream of the crop, even though he's a lefty. I think that came in at 6 foot 216 at Alabama's junior day. I think those are measurables that teams will look for. I think he's got pretty much all the talent you'd want.
He's been helped with Baker and Kyler Murray, some of these other smaller quarterbacks in terms of getting drafted.
He's like 6'3".
Yeah.
I guess he'll be all right.
Would Justin Herbert have been QB1 in this draft?
I'd probably take Haskins over him, but that's just me. I think Herbert flounders a little bit too much under pressure for me to have been a QB for him to have been a QB1 type of guy for me. But I think he can improve that next year, which is good.
Yeah, sticking around, I think he had more to
I
gain than
I think-
his draft spot.
I don't know. Debatable. I think he probably would have gone top 15 this draft class, but he's
Why
got.
should be more to gain from a player perspective? From
Yeah.
like a
I get that.
It's going to be really interesting to see what Fromm does in Georgia because they lost all their skill position players this
They've
year.
lost. They're too
They
deep
lost.
at tight end and 4 receivers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You seen the
top-
recruiting classes the last 3 years? Though?
I know. I'm just saying though, it's like he's got
a lot of
a
inexperience.
whole
They're
bunch of
getting-
guys he's got to throw to that are brand new.
I mean, they got DeAndre Swift's a stud, and they'll still have what's his name, and they'll still have their running back. Their running back are insane, and like their running back coach, I don't think he knows how to coach at all. I think he's just an amazing
Right.
recruiter. But I'd hire him as like my
Swift is
offense
good,
coordinator just to have him recruit guys for me.
Yeah.
Their sixth running back at Georgia is like Ryan Herring. He's like who's like a top 3 running back in his class. It's insanity.
I made this.
Is Dalvin Cook's brother James Cook going to play something this year? Is that his name?
And out the way. If Winston does well, I don't think I don't know if we're looking at a QB. I agree that if Winston has success, I don't know if we're looking at a
Yeah,
QB.
no, I was just saying that.
But I think it was just generally asking to ask, really.
Well, they've done absolutely zero to help Jameis Winston in the offense, and I guess they truly believe they didn't need to upgrade.
Oh,
Who knows? I'm excited about Rashad Perriman as the third receiver next year, personally.
Yeah, can catch the ball.
Yeah, definitely. Who knows? I don't know that I like Watson as a fourth receiver. I would have liked to have seen them add somebody, but that's just me.
Well, there's still time, Riley. There's a 6th round and a 7th round pick coming up.
Yeah, man. No offensive line draft picks baffle me. Yeah, I think they're kind of putting their trust in the Cap at right guard, knowing that he was a 3rd round pick last year. I don't know that I'd have that much confidence in him, but I think that's definitely what they're showing by not addressing offensive line or offense at all, for that matter, with these picks.
Technically, kicker's offense. He scores points. He's going to be your top
I
scorer.
mean,
this year.
he's not going to be scoring
I
points.
don't
He's not going to be scoring
know if
points.
this guy makes the team.
He's going to be scoring goals in some Rick Soccer
Yeah.
League.
in a mural.
Hey, yeah, that's his
Kickball
friend kid,
league.
Keyshawn Johnson. Yeah, I don't even know Beninock makes the team, so I guess that's an indictment on some type of offensive line improvement.
He makes a team as their swing guy.
He's
their
making
valuable guy.
he's making $2 million. You think they're gonna pay him to be backup? No.
I
Yeah.
don't think they have the depth.
They paid Evan Smith that for the
they
last.
can't get rid of him right
4
now.
years.
They
Yeah.
got to get another body or two in here.
That's exactly it. I don't think they have the depth
Yes.
to get rid of any.
I think with those, I think the day 3 picks that have actually gotten playing time, like Beninock and Smith, that's where they're gonna get in trouble. Is the fact that they haven't been outstanding, and with the playing time incentives kicking in, they're gonna make like $2 million next year, and I don't know that they're worth that salary whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, I don't really get the Perriman hype either, man. I think it's just gonna be big. I think you just got to look at it as Godwin's going to have even more of a breakout if you think he hasn't broken out yet next year. And I think that obviously Evans and Howard will continue to do their thing. I think if Howard can string it together for an entire year, they'll be looking at a Pro Bowl season from him.
Did you know that Harold Godwin is Chris Godwin's father?
That's definitely how it works.
I put that together.
It's a good one.
Oh, crap.
Harold
Spell it
Godwin.
they
differently.
just lose an O every generation.
It's all right.
But like you go back 150 years, they're like good one.
Mhm.
That's how it works.
Okay.
Eventually it's just
Dotson
going to
can
be.
and will be banged up throughout the year,
Dude.
so we're honestly looking at Dotson. So are we looking at a line of Smith, Marpet, Jensen, Kappa, Beninock?
I think we're looking at Dot at right tackle, but yeah.
He's saying he's
Here's
going
what's
to get
gonna
banged up,
happen.
though.
Oh.
Jason Light's going to find.
I mean, Dot's 34. I think he's going to play like he's 34. I would like to have seen the bad insurance there. Yeah.
Jason Light's he's going to find 2 or 3 undrafted free agents
Mhm.
that are going to be good players.
He's better at finding undrafted free agents than he is
Than
finding
he
day
is on
3
day
guys.
3. I know. And it's like what I would say is,
He's better finding undrafted free agents than drafting second-round picks.
I'm just saying, what he should do is he should do the draft board, okay, almost like the Lightning. It's like next year, don't win 62 games.
Right.
Do not try for first place. Try to the 6 or 7 seed would be more attractive. Get hungry, have that sense of urgency at the end of the season. Those are the teams that are doing well. Jason Light needs to rank the draft board. Anybody he has got a 4th, 5th, or 6th round grade on, do not draft. Anybody who has got a 7th to undrafted round grade, draft those players.
I think Jason is going to say that they had Gay like as a 3rd or 4th rounder.
Oh.
Hey, they had Aguayo as the first,
and
man.
they felt, fortunate that he was there in the 5th, and they were afraid somebody was going to draft him before the 6th round.
Well, of course, everybody wants 33-year-old
Yeah,
kickers, man.
with bad
How old is he?
legs.
I don't know. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find a date of birth.
He's
I'll pull up.
He's 25.
25.
He's 25.
I don't know. You didn't even go like no BYU or anything.
Older
like
than Mike Evans, not quite, but
So,
that. It's not accuracy that matters. It's the figure of speech.
he's older than Jameis Winston, right?
yeah.
This is Jameis' 4th year in the league, and he's younger than the kicker they just drafted.
No, James is 25 now. He turned 25 in January.
Says
Wow.
much.
Look at John Lynch getting a Stanford kid, Aiden Smith. Type.
As Light addressed the media today, no, and he won't until the end
I'm
of the
telling you,
draft.
he's bringing Bruce Arians out to run interference for him.
He may put John Spytek out there.
Yeah.
Byron
John, you need
Kiefer.
some experience.
Byron Kiefer, you've never done
John,
a press
you might be
conference.
the next general manager here. Let's prep you for that job.
I have a feeling if Jason goes, everybody associated with him
Yeah.
that's even known him
Yeah.
is also gone.
Kickers can never be great as a 3rd rounder ever. This team has no sense of positional value at all. Yeah, you shouldn't draft kickers. That's kind of the thing. You can maybe talk me into drafting a punter 6th to 7th round, but you don't draft kickers.
Let's to chat with you, Mark.
Age doesn't really matter. I know age doesn't really matter for kickers. I just find it kind of funny, to be quite honest.
What the hell is this?
It's my
We're
stash
building
of.
up, we're building up a stash for when the
So-
Warburg's out.
It's a week's worth of Rice Krispie treats. What it is. Tell Matt I'm getting another picture of Matt Gay.
Okay.
Because you can never have enough pictures of Matt Gay.
Scott.
Yeah.
Matt wants to know if you can download some gay pics.
Never have too many gay pictures on your phone. Saints up next.
Up until right now, I've never had any gay pictures of him. I got to admit, I'm a little concerned now that they might be looking punter here in the 6th round, just to bolster special teams.
Of course, man.
I mean, not. That
I mean,
hold
I
on,
think we have to-
not that the Bucks need a return specialist by any means. They just need a better punter and kicker.
Yeah, of
Right?
course. Hey, man. Maybe you just don't feel good enough about the fact.
Two
Mac-
kicker system, two
they
punter
could-
system.
I mean, you just gotta alternate. Eventually, find a new like. What was I gonna say? Hey, man. I think we have to figure out if Gay does coffin kicks, because that was the big thing that sold Roberto Aguayo, was that he could do coffin kicks,
Yeah.
kick a ball within the 5-yard line. Like, I don't know, every kicker ever. Are the Saints gonna have a 3 draft pick draft?
Possibly.
Good for them, man. Saints have the right idea, man. You maximize what you have with your talents, and you don't really care about the rest. That's how you get Alvin Kamara. That's how you get Marcus Williams. That's how you get all of the good guys that have got in the last couple of years. And I think Eric McCoy and Chauncey Gardner are just 2 other guys who are exactly the same.
What do you think Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Phil?
Apparently there's interviews last night. That's what they were saying. I don't know. I guess I get that kind of personality type thing that throws teams off.
I think people see him as a fringe between a safety and a nickel. Not quite either.
I think maybe the NFL ended up thinking that. I thought he was a guy who could kind of do both, and you probably move him down to nickel on 3rd downs for coverage. But I think especially New Orleans, with putting a 4th-round pick into him, I think he'll be a nickel just period. Because I think they've got Marcus Williams and Von Bell, and they're both 2 good long-term safeties there for them. They're both young guys.
Because now at the 4th round, if he's talented, even if he's a French guy, you kind of justify taking him.
It's the fourth round. You can just like take him as a nickel. I feel like, especially with how productive I think he'll be.
Did you need the other pick, or did Matt need that?
Matt Neal.
Okay, all right. Can you text him?
Like
and
what
tell
the
him
Patriots have
it's-
been able to do today, adding Kajust and what's his name? The one Norwegian lineman.
Ben. Did they have Ben James?
No,
No, it's the other guy.
It
Yeah.
was the dude
From
from
Indiana, right?
Arkansas. Not Arkansas.
Arkansas.
What's it called? Yelta something. I forget. I thought he was pretty good today. I liked him. His pass protection. Good, but
It's not a bedtime story. Don't go to bed yet. Don't go to sleep. But these are the quotes from. Should have them right here.
jeez.
Kicker Matt Gay on his expectations entering the draft. Honestly, kind of what I was seeing and what I felt was maybe 6th to 7th round, maybe even undrafted. So when I got the call, I looked at the board and it was a Tampa number. And I looked at the board and saw that they were 2 picks away. And I was kind of like, no way, not right now. Just kind of shocked and overcome with emotion. It was amazing, honestly. So even Matt Gay was shocked that he got drafted. Even Matt Gay thought he was a 6th or 7th round or perhaps undrafted kicker.
Undrafted. That's right. We don't have Chris Baker to screw around with this rookie
Right.
kicker. We don't have
So
that.
here's the other thing now. So we do know that he is a big-time clutch kicker who's been making high-pressure kicks. That was the question that was asked of Matt Gay on the conference call. And so, Matt, tell us about making all those kicks in high-pressure situations. And Matt says, "Oh, I've never kicked in any last-second game winners, but down the stretch with a few minutes left to either put us ahead or tie the game, I've had quite a few. I feel like I handle pressure pretty well. I stay calm and I'm able to stay stable in those moments and have been able to hit those to give my team a chance. I know my team trusts me, and that helps my confidence to go out there and make those because they have all the faith in me. So I'm just kind of confident in those moments." Well, it's good to know, but he has yet to make a game winner.
You think you're 25 years old?
Yeah. Okay. No, hey, there's a first for everything, and why not do that in the NFL? Maybe week 1.
Wouldn't be the first draft kicker.
Scott,
Jags
what was
Minshew.
Gardner Minshew, the Jaguars? What was the story on Shiano and Freeman? What the F was going on? I can't reveal that right now. That's
What's that?
the whole Shiano Freeman thing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have the Truckmaster Driving School, Mav? Truckmaster, I think it's called. I guess that was for somebody else. Is Light thumbing his nose at Bucks fans?
You don't want Gardner Minshew. Don't worry about him. Just
Yeah,
take
so-
Tyree Jackson, man. Take
so-
Tyree Jackson.
I was going to say Gardner Minshew gets picked before Tyree Jackson. I'll tell you what, Tyree Jackson in the 2 interviews that I had with him briefly comes across as like a real arrogant prick. And I just wonder if he kind of bombed some interviews.
I don't know, man. I don't like to speculate about that type of thing. I'm sure usually once these guys get drafted or they go undrafted,
Or
rather.
maybe it was the
Normally
55%
it comes
completion
out.
percentage you had last year.
Hey, man, I wasn't the biggest Tyree Jackson fan. I thought he was like maybe around 4 or 5 guy at best, especially with quarterbacks driving at their volume. But I don't know that I would have taken, like I said, all of these quarterbacks, especially the ones that he was better than at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Over him.
Yeah, Derek May says, we just added more pressure. I was also overcome with emotion. Yeah. Hey, listen, if anything, the Buccaneers draft is exciting and riveting. It may not be what you want. It's emotional, though. It will cause you to cry.
Definitely is. I've cried like 3 times today.
It will make you angry. You will feel alive, Riley, during these 3 days.
Well, of course.
That's guaranteed. There's no doubt about it. It's never boring. And we appreciate
Never
you, as
boring at one
always,
Buck place.
checking out the video draft cast here. We enjoy doing it.
Damn, it's gonna be rookie.
folks. Heard it here first.
I was asked this question previously, but there was ever an incident story that happened with you that came close to you jeopardizing your Bucks access. Yes. Monty Kiffin threatened to pull my credentials. Not that he had the authority to do so, but yeah.
Just throw behind that one, man. We got
We got
30
some
picks
time?
till the
Oh,
Bucks.
okay. Yeah, so Monty Kiffin, this was, I'm at a Red Bull. God, that sucks. Monty Kiffin, when was this? This was 2000, I think. It was the first year Joe Barry and Mike Tomlin were in as coaches, replacing Lovie Smith and Herm Edwards, two veteran coaches who went on to become ultimately head coaches. Herm got the head coaching job with the Jets, and Lovie became the defensive coordinator under Mike Martz for the Rams. Went to the Super Bowl, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So I had heard from some sources, and this was, gosh, I probably should look it up. They started off a little slow. This was like maybe a 4-5 start, something like that. And I had written in Buccaneer magazine back in the day. I had this section called Bucks Buzz. It was all my sources and contacts, and it was like a little intel that I got. So the intel that I got was that Herm Edwards and Lovie Smith were missed, especially on game days, because those veteran coaches could help Monty with some adjustments, more so than Joe Barry, who would come from USC, and Mike Tomlin, who had come from William and Mary. So I wrote that story, and I get a phone call. I'd been in one Buccaneer place on Friday. Basically, they have a morning practice on Friday, kind of like a walkthrough tempo, and then you get coach and maybe some players. You're done by 12:30. So I'm literally driving back home to Carrollwood at the time, and I get a phone call as soon as I get home from Zach Bono, who's one of the PR guys, and Zach says, "Hey Scott, Coach Kiffin wanted to talk to you about something." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "Do you have time to talk to him?" And I said, "Yeah, have him give me a call." "Well, Coach Kiffin actually wants to kind of talk to you about it face to face." And I said, "Okay, well, I'll be back down there on Monday." Yeah, Coach kind of wanted to talk to you face to face today." "Zach, I just left One Buck place. It's Friday afternoon. I'm done. Like, let's do this Monday at One Buck." "I'm pretty sure Coach Kiffin wanted you to come back to One Buck place and talk to you right about now." "Do I have to?" I'm really, Coach told me to have you come here, and he wants to talk to you face to face, like today, like right now." "Okay, do you know what this is about?" "No, but I'm sure Monty's going to tell you." "All right, fine." So I got back in the car, drove back down Dale Mabry, got back to One Buccaneer place. The place is empty. It's Friday afternoon. Monty's there in his office, pacing, because Monty Kiffin does not sit. He just, he's a bundle of energy. I walk in, "Hey, Coach." "Hey, Scott, why don't you sit down?" Okay. So I'm sitting down, and all of a sudden he's like the school teacher lecturing me, the students, and he's holding up Buccaneer magazine. "Hey, right here, Buccaneer magazine here. Bunch of crap right here. I'm telling you. Like, what is this right here? Like, I got this here. You read it to me." And he highlighted the section. He wanted me to read what I had written about how Monty Kiffin and the defense were missing on game days Herm Edwards and Lovie Smith. And Monty took that very personally, because he had handpicked Mike Tomlin and Joe Barry, very good coaches in their own right, but still NFL rookie assistant coaches, and really young guys too. So Monty makes me read that section of the Buccaneer Blitz that he had highlighted with a yellow marker. And so I'm reading it to him, and like the second I'm done, he just unloads on me. He's like, "That's a bunch of, and I can't drop the names here, but he was F-bombing and calling me just every name under the sun. And he said, "I want you to tell me who said this." And I said, "Coach, I'm not going to give up my sources." I said, "I'm not going to do that. You need to tell me right now. You need to tell me who put this right here. Who gave this information? Who did this?" "Coach, I'm not going to tell you." And I'm like 28 years old. I've been on the job for a couple of years. So I'm like a little intimidated. This is Monty Kiffin, here, and I'm a little intimidated. and he told me that if I didn't tell him who was the source behind what I wrote, that he was going to take my Buccaneer magazine and walk in the defensive meeting room and say, nobody talk to Scott Reynolds anymore. Like, don't do it. Like, I'm going to forbid you from talking to me about this. And it didn't concern me too much because I had a really good relationship with Tony Dungy. His daughter Jade and my daughter Ellie went to the same preschool.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tony would come to Ellie's birthday parties with Jade, and I would go over to Jade's birthday parties at Tony's house. My daughter almost drowned in Tony Dungy's pool. Funny story. I'll save it for another time.
Yeah.
And the true story, like she literally almost drowned, and I had to jump in and save her. And I didn't wear my suit. I had my son Logan in my arms, and I had just shorts and a shirt on, and I literally had to jump in to save her, and like completely destroyed my phone, wallet, keys, everything was in my pockets. So Monty is railing against me, and I said, Coach, I said, if you had told me something off the record, you would not want me telling Rich McKay or Tony Dungy that you said something. So I think you can appreciate it. He said, I would never tell you anything. You're a horrible reporter. I would never tell you anything. So I was like sweating on the inside, and the outside I was trying to like maintain a cool, calm persona, but it was difficult because Monty was getting very animated and very angry. Gosh, Travion Williams, he would look so good in red and pewter. I like him.
He's all right. I don't know. I don't know that I would say that the Travion was probably going before this range. You had to tell me. He doesn't really have any traits that really pushing the needle. Ran a 4.5, 140, and is kind of undersized.
Yeah.
But
Darwin Thompson's another kind of guy that I like, a little undersized.
Darwin Thompson's good, man. I think I would like to see them go after some type of receiving backs, and there's still James Williams and him on the board. So,
yeah. So to wrap up the story, Monty did not talk to me for. This was October. He did not talk to me or even look at me or even acknowledge me or look at me until training camp in Orlando that next late July. I got the cold shoulder from Monty Kiffin for almost an entire year. So that's the closest that I've had to having my credentials pulled, and not that Monty had the authority to do that. He probably would have loved to. I mean, he probably asked, and Monty, we can't do that, But and the funny thing is, after that, Monty and I had a great relationship.
there's not that much going on in the chat. We're kind of at a lull right now. We're kind of in the middle of the.
Did they fire all the scouts? Some of you guys today with your comments have really been on point. I like Devin White was a good pick, the right pick, just not a sexy pick. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a sexy pick. I mean, he's going to be a hella good player. I've been enamored with Devin White since January. But as soon as they named Todd Bowles, I'm watching film on some possible first-round picks, and I'm like, this is the guy. I turn on because I'd seen Devin White a little bit in college. I hadn't really gravitated towards him or studied him a whole bunch because I kind of assumed that Quan Alexander was going to get re-signed because this team loved him so much. And I didn't know they were going to go with 3-4 until they got Bruce Arians and then Todd Bowles. So in January, right after they hired Bowles, I'm going through some tape. And I see Josh Allen, and of course there's Ed Oliver and Quinn Williams and all that. And I put on the tape of Devin White, and I'm really kind of watching this guy with a mindful eye now of, all right, let's really see about the scheme fit and all that. And I just jumped out at me, and I said, this is the guy. This is the guy that would be so perfect for this scheme. And then I did some intel to confirm my hunch and suspicion. And yeah, it's the reason why we put him in there in the January 18th mock.
No, definitely. I think, like you said, it isn't exactly the sexy pick in that situation, but I don't know if there was a pick that made a lot more logical sense than that pick, besides like trading down. So
Who is your source? Your source. I've got a lot of sources. Yeah, I've got quite a few. I got people in all areas of the building, which is good because I don't have to rely on like one or two people. Being in the Bucks analytics department has to be soul crushing. Being in the Bucks organization has to be soul crushing.
Being in my Bucks building is pretty soul crushing if you ask me.
At least they didn't draft the tight end. Listen, there's 2 picks to go, man. Don't rule it out.
Bucks fan is soul crushing.
Mike Johnson, I used to work in Corp Center 1, right next to the old 1 Buck. Coach Kiffin always ate in our cafeteria. I'd say hi, good luck. Otherwise, left him alone. He ate alone. Almost ran him over once. It's good.
Let's get Gerald Willis. Yeah, I think Gerald Willis has I want to say it's a knee concern that's going on with Gerald
Yeah.
Willis, so that's probably why he's slipping, as well as the fact that he's old. He's like 24, I want to say. So I think that's just kind of adding up.
Also,
against
too,
him right now.
he kind of backed away from football for a year. So there's the do you love football
Yeah, the
thing going
commitment
on.
concerns. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, who is the actual source of the Buccaneer Magazine story? I can't tell you. Can't do that.
You need money to go kill somebody 20 years later.
I'd heard it from 2 players, one of which the name would absolutely shock and stun you. And it's a shame I can't name the source, but
Matt said thanks for the gay pics.
Oh.
You like
it's excellent.
them a lot.
Yes.
Where you want to sit?
You're unseating your son.
I
Yeah.
think you're kicking me
Or,
out.
or we could just go straight almond with this.
Almond and almond.
Yeah.
Do it. Double up. Double up.
Yeah, but I'm
Double
just
up?
afraid that
I'll give
there
him grief on air.
I'm just afraid that there would be like some punishment kind of thing. Hey, hey,
You guys have to review
All right,
the
off
events
limits.
movie.
No bathroom habits. No.
hey, Riley, let's talk about that bee you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Bees are unacceptable.
I got up for an AP practice exam at 7:20 a.m. this morning after staying up till 4 with me to watch Avengers. He's like on.
Okay, no spoilers. I'm going to see
Hey,
it
hey,
tomorrow.
no spoilers. I didn't say
Okay,
anything, man.
good.
I didn't even bring it
Good.
up. I'm not trying to have that.
Okay.
What AP class?
And by the way, I like the
Closure.
commitment after the draft to go see
Yeah, we
Avengers.
kind of one of the ones I
Of
passed.
course.
Yeah.
In fact, we could have done
What
tonight.
AP
Probably could
class?
have gone
What?
early.
Spoil the movie
No, it's
for you,
psych. I
Scott.
take
No.
Yeah, psych.
People
I don't know.
fly around
I took it.
and
I took it this morning, and
Yeah.
my projected scores were 5. It's but like psychs are really quick, and then you can't done pretty quick. So
Yeah.
it's like what's it called? It's like hour and a half long multiple choice, and it's like 15 minutes of FRQs.
I think I passed.
Okay.
Are you getting
It's
quality
done.
Land O'Lakes signage?
Yes,
Yes.
we are. We're
He's
representing.
repping the
We got
Gators.
somebody class of 2001 in the chat, man.
I think I passed 3 AP tests. 2 of them were Lit and Lang, and they both got me out of the same
Bucks
class.
haven't had a really good draft since John
I gotta take
Robinson
Lang. I don't
left.
feel
Jason
too
Light
good
is
about
way
it.
overrated.
And I'm
So I
betting
got
in 3 on
Could be
that.
4
correct.
Lang, so then I took Lit, and they were like, "Oh, Lang
Well,
would have
it's
gotten you
good
out of
to
the
be,
college English classes."
The
Like,
Titans
you didn't even need to take Lit. I was like,
Yeah.
that was an AP program. I had to.
Right, the Titans drafts have not set the world on fire. Sometimes,
I don't
though,
know.
it's teamwork.
I feel
It's
like
like the
what I'm
Avengers.
doing
When the
is
Avengers
just
assemble,
just to get, like, the fact
you know,
that-
they
Teamwork
are
makes the dream work.
teamwork does
And
make the dream
honestly,
work. Yes.
I passed as many
Yeah,
subjects
it's
as
just
that.
like,
It's
hey,
so
when
many
you had all of the Infinity Stones, when you had Rich McKay and Tim Ruskell and Rustin Webster and Jerry Angelo all
Right.
together on the fist, it was unstoppable.
When they broke the band,
When you broke the
Yeah.
band up, then they all
I'm in
sucked.
like an advanced program,
Unlike
so
the
I gotta
Beatles,
take.
who all
It's
went
kind
on
of
very
it's
highly
scripted for me. Like I got to
successful
pick
careers.
psych over like.
Is it like
Ringdale?
Like mine, I went to Kansas,
Really?
It was the CAPS program.
Wow.
He's had a better
That's what I was
career
in. Like,
Yeah.
than
CAPS,
any of the
like-
kids.
It wasn't.
Well, how about
Kevin,
George
I'm an
Harrison? What did
IB,
he do?
so-
Oh, you're an
Yeah,
IB.
I'm
Okay.
IB.
George Harrison
George
was great.
may have had the
So
best
I get
album of all
two
of the
choices for
Beatles
courses in
solo,
4 years,
Big
so
Must
yeah.
Pass, the
So
first-
you're taking all the
he was
What?
the first one to have
Never
that.
heard of it.
E in your IA.
Shut up.
Never heard of
I'm a
it.
sophomore, so I don't. I'm
Was he in the Wallflowers?
But
Yeah.
George Harrison
Okay,
was
all right,
No,
he's
not the
off.
one. Traveling Wilburys.
Yeah, no,
John
Instagram.
Wilbury's
Same
was-
thing, right?
Kind of
Same
used
thing?
it. This one
Yeah.
does.
Dang, no
Yeah.
way.
All
right.
Flowers was Jake.
You're out. That's it. Come on, he's got some bad knees and hips. He's
Hey,
an old
man.
man.
Hey man, you're right.
Good job, man.
You watched it.
You realize, Riley, before you were born, your old man had hair, right?
Greg Allman,
I've never seen it though.
Almanac right here in the house. From the Atlantic. Right? The Atlantic?
How's it going, folks?
What is it?
Greg Allman from Warner, he was on Capricorn Records. Didn't you sign?
You guys have lively discussion going in here, man.
Yeah, we do.
Oh.
Yeah.
You saw the game pick discussion.
So true story. What happened is Mark's computer literally broke
Brand new computer.
about a minute before the pick, so we went completely offline. The football god said,
Oh,
"You know
no.
what? You have been through enough Peter Report. You do not need to witness this." and that's what happened. True story.
Christopher Mark, thanks for the sub, man. I appreciate it. Anybody
Yes.
out there as a subscriber, thank you very much. Awesome to have you
We're
here.
a subscriber.
Thank
We
you too.
subscribe.
I include you as well.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes, you got it.
You know what I do, Greg? I subscribe and then I sell my password for half the
There you
price.
go. You do the
To all
Netflix
my
thing.
friends.
I'm on my brother's Netflix.
me
I'm
a
on my dad's
dollar, and I-
HBO Go.
I pay $3 a month and I've sold
Right.
14 of them for $1 each.
Tell Greg hello for me. That's Joe Fulford. That's Animal.
Damn, I know him.
Yeah.
Which pick from rounds 2 through 6 has the biggest chance to surprise us Bucks fans of being better than we think?
Well, the kicker.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the kicker. I mean, again, the kicker.
I'm going to make a prediction. If Matt Gay makes the team, he's going to lead this team in points
He'll
score.
make the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a
If you're-
fifth round
if-
pick has like $300,000 guaranteed.
If you're Cairo Santos, what are you thinking right now?
I mean, he got less than $1 million.
Right.
Last summer, Jets gave Cairo Santos $2.5 million, $500,000 guaranteed, and he kind of validated himself with the Bucks, showed he wasn't injured, goes on the open market. Bucks don't sign him immediately, and he comes back and he signs for $1 million with less than $200,000 guaranteed. So that's
Right.
not a real big endorsement. Yeah, it's unfortunate. You feel bad. I mean, I thought Cairo Santos kicked the ball fairly well,
There's
but
limitations though, right? On kickoffs, probably inside.
yeah, well, and
45
then
yards.
here's the thing: the Bucks go get Bradley Pinion. They give Bradley Pinion good money because Bradley Pinion can handle kickoffs. So now Cairo Santos only has to worry about kicking field goals and extra points.
Mhm.
And now they draft a kicker in the 5th round who has 8-10 career kicks over 50 yards. Probably is pretty good on kickoff. So
Well, hold on here. Last year, Peter Report Bucks best bets were on point. We had Vita Vea, defensive tackle. We had Alex Kappa, offensive line. We had Justin Watson, a wide receiver. We actually have this year Devin White and Jamel Dean. That's 2.
you called that one? Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they were both in our last mock.
Very
good. We've got 2.
I've got a perfect O for mock going right now.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep that going. There's got guys I liked
Yeah.
that have gone about where I thought they would.
And I've texted Jason Light telling him the last remaining Bucks best bets we have. So like if you could help us out, not draft any other special teams players, actually draft a positional player would be helpful.
2 picks left. I went Penny Hart from Georgia State in the 7th.
Mhm.
My 6th round pick was the Pollard kid from Memphis that just got drafted by the Cowboys.
He would've been
7
good.
kickoff returns.
Yep.
Would have liked him. I don't know who else I mocked that's still available. The kid from Washburn, I liked him a lot.
Yeah.
He just went.
Let's see who we have. We're still live here. Don't think that we're not, but
Oh no.
let's see. We talked about edge rushers are on.
Byron Coward.
Yeah, I kind of thought, Coward's gone. We thought that maybe
Patriots.
he would be the pick there at 5. Little did we know.
In the 5th round?
Yeah, instead of the kicker.
Right.
Well,
Was he even there at 5? Was he on? Was he
Yeah.
available?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
They passed him up.
just a couple picks.
Trust me, my phone blew up.
Oli Udo's still there.
Olido. He's,
Oli Udo would not be. I wrote
That
about
would
Oli
be-
from St. Pete, the Shrine game. He would not be a bad pick at all.
Right.
Big guy was like 385, is now like
Yep.
320.
Darwin Thompson. Interesting.
Mhm.
And the thing with Oli Udo is showed well at the East West Shrine, got bumped up to the Senior Bowl when they needed an injury
Double
replacement.
dipped.
Yeah. Bruce Anderson.
Bruce Anderson,
is a
again,
guy.
he's probably an undrafted guy, but he's local, so it'd be easy for them to get him.
Yep.
That would make a lot of sense. If the Bucks
Cody
do not
Thompson.
draft a running back,
Yep.
Bruce Anderson would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and they do like Cody Thompson from Toledo would be an interesting pick. Let's get caught up and see who's picked who, shall we?
He's gone recently.
Yeah, this is round 6.
Lamar Gaillard from Georgia. I had him mocked as a 6th round pick to the Bucks.
Yep.
First team All SEC center. I thought he was like the hey, let's get some insurance just in case things don't work out for Jensen here
Right.
in
Oh,
the
you know
last
what?
year is guaranteed.
Trey Watson, Maryland.
Trey Watson,
Might be
absolutely
an interesting
another
guy
local
here.
Yeah, another local.
So Ty Johnson from Maryland is
We still have 20 picks before the Bucks are on the clock.
Yep.
But no, it's intriguing. It's one of these where you see these picks, and we're just kind of getting to know these guys right now. Anthony Nelson was happy to see that. Very much, I think Spytek actually even said this on the Bucks Twitter. But he's absolutely a Ryan Nassib, Carl Nassib clone.
Mhm.
6'7".
271.
Okay against the run, decent, good number of
Yeah.
sacks. Had 23 sacks his last 3 years in college.
And I think too that they really want him to be an upgrade over Will Golston at that 5 technique defensive end spot.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out whether he could possibly show enough to put Will Golston in jeopardy. I don't think he will. I think you got to keep
Will
Golston
Golston makes the
but-
team, but I think that they have another option now for competition.
And a year from now,
Right.
it could be that
if
Golston isn't outperforming a 4th-round rookie, he probably is in trouble.
Yeah, let's check a little. Layoff kickers worry about offense settling for field goals. That's far worse.
Yeah, they don't want to kick. They're not drafting a kicker with the hopes of kicking lots of field goals. They just want to make more of them when they do. I don't want you guys to think that the Bucs are choosing field goals over touchdowns at any point here.
Right.
It's like having a punter. You don't punt because you want to get rid of the ball on offense. You punt because you couldn't get first down.
Isaiah Buggs still on the board. Wouldn't have thought that. It's interesting because he had 9.5 sacks at Alabama. Actually, had more sacks than Quinnen Williams. But I think there's some conditioning issues there, some work ethic issues. I don't know that he had a great interview. There's not a lot of buzz coming out about Isaiah Buggs when he left Alabama. I think they're gonna try to get a nose and put Vea at 3 tech. I agree. I think if Gerald McCoy is not on this roster, then Vita Vea is the 3 tech, and then you got Bo Allen, Stevie Tuikulabatu, and maybe some other guy they're going to bring in to contend for that nose tackle spot.
Yeah, I think you'll see him move around Vea a lot. I think if they put him at 3, he's more. It's harder for him to get double teamed, and if it's Bo Allen that takes over nose right now, Bo's about the only guy you'd say would be a 3-4 nose in this team. I mean, Stevie Tuikulabatu could. He's big enough to be a nose. I don't know if he makes his team right now.
The other thing too is when they're going to go to a 4-man front and nickel defense, then you're going to see JPP go from weak side outside linebacker to probably inside at the 3 tech defensive tackle spot. They'll probably play 2 3 tech spots, which is typical when you go to nickel in an obvious pass rush situation. So you have Vita Vea and JPP inside, and then either Shaq Barrett or Noah Spence opposite Carl Nassib on the other. Or you can go with Andrew Nelson on one side and Carl Nassib on the other with JPP inside and Vita Vea. So there's a lot of position flexibility that you can do.
Kicker isn't 6'7", is he?
No, he's 6'1".
Okay, yeah, come on. Sorry, the kicker isn't 6'7".
Yeah.
Anthony Nelson, the
Right.
defensive end from
Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Is he?
Well, they live in Cocoa Beach.
Oh, I didn't know that. Quasi-local.
Anthony Nelson from I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, okay. We made that earlier.
Major
We're talking
Nelson.
Two Darrens. Yeah.
So
Larry Hagman reference.
Yeah.
Rip.
All right. So what happens if DeMar Dodson goes down? What happens if Donovan Smith goes down?
Yeah, it's not a good thing right now. I mean, your swing tackle,
13, yeah.
your swing tackle would be Caleb Benenoch right now.
Yeah,
You know.
that's scary.
But I mean, Leonard Wester was that guy last year.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he left and got almost nothing in free agency. Went to the Jaguars.
They like Cole Boozer.
Cole Boozer could be your 4th tackle right
Yeah.
now in the complete absence of a rookie draft pick. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky right now. I mean, Cole Boozer would logically step up. You think about, right
Completely
now.
untested Cole Boozer.
Yes. But I mean, again, the last set of coaches like Cole Boozer. Now, if you think about the bench right now, if you have Kappa as your right guard right now, Earl Watford is probably the backup at guard. Benenoch's the backup at tackle.
Mhm.
And then you look at 8 or 9. I mean, again, Evan Smith, we don't know if Evan Smith's going to be healthy right now. Evan Smith would be the 6th man and be the backup center guard. He's healthy, but he's coming off multiple hip surgeries. So that's not a sure thing. So you got Cole Boozer. There's definitely a window where some undrafted rookie could make the team as a 9th offensive lineman.
Yeah.
I don't know who that guy would be right now. I mean, like Ruben Holcomb or somebody else.
Well,
like that.
the one thing we had somebody post either this morning or late yesterday afternoon, or I should say evening. One thing that could help alleviate some of the depth concerns at defensive line will be playing like a 1-1-9.
Well, exactly. They have the DBs for it.
Yeah, where you've got one defensive lineman, probably your nose, and then one linebacker, maybe a Dan Buchanan, maybe Levante or Devin White.
He's got to cover
And then
a fair amount.
and then 9 defensive backs.
He's just got to be there to guard against the run.
Yeah.
In case they see 2 in the box and want to run.
2 in the box.
True.
The
DBs is curious because like we're trying to figure out who kind of gets pushed out with 3 more rookie DBs, and again, presuming that second-day draft picks make the team.
Yeah.
So Ryan Smith is now making $2 million as your 5th corner. He's in
Right.
trouble. Isaiah Johnson, who played 400 snaps last year, probably isn't on the team right now.
Yep.
Kentrell Bryce, who they brought in, doesn't really have much money guaranteed or anything, so he could be gone right now. There's definitely some changeover. You think about the fact that Grimes is gone. You think about Adams is gone already.
Yep.
They've already moved on from Elliott. There's lots of guys they've already moved on from. So
Greg, you've got a really good radio voice. Do you want to do our sponsor here?
yes, this year's PewterReport.com's Bucks draft coverage is presented by Edmondson Electric and Security, the official smart home and security company of PewterReport.com. For the past 40 years, Edmondson Electric has proudly served Central Florida with electric services, and now we're proud to add state-of-the-art smart home technology and security systems to its roster. Whether it's surveillance cameras, home theaters, or smart lighting, Edmondson Electric and Security is automating your dream home. Click to find out more about controlling, monitoring, and securing your home. Tomorrow starts now. From home automation controls to structured wiring, and 3-910-3403 for additional information, or visit them online at edmondsonelectric.com, EDMONSONELECTRIC.com. Control, monitor, secure.
Love it. Great job. That's fantastic.
Thank you, Adam
Right
Carolla.
there. Yep.
He sounds just like Adam Carolla with a touch of Louis C.K.
A little bit, yeah.
Can't say that anymore. Can't say that anymore.
Yeah.
Like 3 years ago, I was like, Louis
Yeah.
C.K. That's not bad. Now it's like,
So everybody,
maybe
Okay,
just say
is-
Paul Giamatti.
Is that Russian or Hebrew?
I got some Cyrillic guys. Just keep it in English, okay? That's not true. My mother would never do that.
That's great.
Great, my cousin Vinny tweet, by the way.
He's the 2 Utes.
That was hilarious.
Do you see that? Can you name the 2 former Utah draft picks in Bucks history?
Yes, Kalen Play and Matt Gay.
There's one before. 2005, receiver, actually made the roster, had a couple catches, got hurt.
Oh, Paris Warren.
Paris Warren.
That's right, yeah.
So Scott Smith tweeted out who they were, and it's like, so before today, those were the 2 Utes.
Yeah.
And everybody gets it.
Right.
Loved that one. Loved it.
My cousin Vinny.
love that.
Quality my cousin Vinny tweet.
Everybody close your eyes and just listen to this and tell me this isn't Greg on.
Speaking of Bongery, one time.
Yeah, a little Adam Carolla.
Yeah. Yeah.
Loveline back in the day, man. That was great radio.
Yeah, it was.
Loveline?
Yes.
I love Loveline.
It was a man show.
Dr. Drew, man show, man.
Oh, you can open your eyes, everyone.
Mike Johnson has your props. That was a really strong promo. Well done. Agreed.
Edmondson Electric guy in my neighborhood, like owns
Russian.
all
good.
the wiring.
It's
electric.
Russian. Look at that. Not fluent in Russian.
You should be.
I could do a little bit
Trump fan.
of German. Häagen-Dazs,
If
Volkswagen,
you're there in Russia,
Farpignugan.
get you 40% off the Athletic if you're there in Russia.
There you go.
I believe they allow.
What's
that there,
the
so-
the exchange rate?
Yes, that's right. It works out pretty well.
You're going to London, right?
Going to London, excited.
Excellent. All right. We'll have to,
Perhaps Amsterdam as well.
we'll have to have a
Whoa.
Guinness over there. Nice.
Yeah, take it. We'll get like
If you're there,
planned
you're
it
there,
out,
right? Yeah.
planned it out, booked it, got flight cheap, got wife and kids going along.
Nice.
Got bye week afterwards. Going to stay till Thursday of the next week.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
a
no, we're
hell of a good idea. I might just do that myself.
going Thursday to the following Thursday. It's only $52 to train from London to Amsterdam.
Yeah. It's not
So I think
bad.
we're going to do it.
How long's the train? Right.
It's like $240.
That's actually way shorter than I would
Right.
have thought.
But it
Yeah.
seems like, nice picturesque. I don't know
Yeah.
how easy
Yeah,
it is to
oh
get a
my
window
God.
or something.
I went
but,
to Switzerland for 2 weeks after my high school graduation, and you take trains everywhere over there, and it's very enjoyable.
Paris
right.
was pretty much, that was like $54 to train to Paris from
Yeah.
London. We thought about doing that. Our flight, it's cool. We have a connecting flight back from London that goes through Amsterdam. So what
Mhm.
I'm hoping to do is just ignore the first leg of the flight and just catch my flight in Amsterdam directly home.
There you go.
Do that. So tell you what, I got a phone call to take here
Okay.
related to that
That's all.
kicker in the 5th round. So,
Greg Gallman, we appreciate
Thanks again,
it. as
guys.
always.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Yep. Read
to
him
see you
at
guys.
the Athletic.
thank
The
you guys.
Athletic. Yeah. Subscribe.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
All right. So we've had Rick Stroud. We've had Greg Allman. We've had Jay Retcher. We've had Riley Allman. But we have yet to have Matt Matera join us today.
That's true. It's now the time.
Now's
I
the
don't wanna
time.
Walk up and then be like,
Hold on. Let's wait a second. I was a little premature there. Let me make sure that we.
punter in the 5th round.
Oh, I put Yeah, that's one. Should I do the Kevin Malone?
Yeah.
Like run around the
Come on. Okay, there we go. Here's your intro music.
What's up, everyone? Sorry I haven't been on yet. I've been grinding away, listening to all these.
Sorry.
Like people are pissed or something. Like not one single person has been like, "Hey, where's Matt today?"
That was Doodle yesterday.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Doodle's not even here
the
today.
Doodle person.
Yeah.
Been listening to all the interviews, getting them out for everyone,
Yeah.
transcribing.
We read your quotes about or what Matt Gay said. He was shocked and surprised.
Yeah,
Like everybody else was that he was picked. He even admitted he's like, I thought maybe 6th, 7th round.
yeah.
Maybe
He said
undrafted.
7th, probably maybe undrafted. And he's like, then I looked at the board. The Bucks were 2 away, and they
Yeah.
came calling.
We need to look at this a little deeper. Is Jason Light maybe Matt Light's like godfather or something? You know, is there
Matt
like
Gay,
what did I say?
Matt Light.
Matt Light, yeah. Matt. Well, maybe it is Matt Light. Maybe there's an adoption happening right now.
Could be
It's just something's up.
blinded by the light.
Okay.
There's some
Um,
story too that I think actually Greg Allman was the one that brought it up, that he was supposed to go on a 2-year religious
Sabbatical, yeah.
thing, and then he
Isaiah
left
Bucks
like in
to the
6
Steelers.
months, which is crazy because being a kicker, you're not on the field too much, but you're an important part of the game, as Bucks fans know all too well with the kicker curse. But a big part of being a kicker is mental toughness,
Yes.
and if you can't even make a year out of a 2-year thing, like I don't want to get on the guy for mental health and stuff like that, but mental toughness is a part of the game at
Right.
kicker in the NFL, in any sport really. But
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. Derek May asks, SR, does Jameis Winston have the lowest thrown balls out of bounds on purpose to avoid disaster in the NFL? Do you think if he learns to throw 4 to 5 balls into the stands per game, he will be an elite quarterback? I've been saying this for years, Derek, and I think you're right. Brad Johnson, former Florida State quarterback, was one of the best at getting rid of the ball. Now, granted, Brad Johnson could not extend any plays with his feet whatsoever. He was
doesn't have the playmaking ability.
no,
Jameis
he was
does.
as cement booted in the pocket as you could possibly be. He was a pocket passer to the nth degree. So if everybody was covered, if he was under duress, he would just sling it to the sidelines. That's just what he did, and avoided a lot of interceptions, avoided a lot of sack fumbles. And I've even told Brad when he's in town, I said, you need to work with Jameis and just throwing the ball away. Jameis, that's probably his Achilles heel is he does not want to give up on any play. But yes, I think he would
it's
be
great
better.
in so many ways,
Yeah.
but the times that it backfires, and it just seems to always happen at the goal line for whatever reason. Like
Right.
last year, it happened against Atlanta, I believe, when he first came back. That went off a player's helmet, so
Right.
it's a little bit different. But yeah, there's just times where he just throws the ball up for
Yeah.
grabs. Always looking for Cam Braid. Not that that's
David
bad
Arbuckle
options.
asks, will you hire Light at Pewter Report when he is looking for work? No.
He could go back to Arizona, I would imagine.
Let's
not
What
get
would
too
Jason
far
Light do
ahead.
for us if he's no longer the general manager? What role would he fill?
I guess he
Nothing.
knows some people around the league.
Yeah.
I know you and Mark do as well, but I'm sure.
we have plenty of sources. We're good.
Yeah.
Johnson was called the statue. Yes, exactly. 3 seconds, then he would throw the ball at a cheerleader. Yeah, that's pretty much right. Brad Johnson
Yikes.
made the best of his tools, concrete blocks for feet. Yep.
He would get you drinks on the Pewter podcast or Pewter Nation podcast.
He could.
Well, we have Taylor for that.
That's true. We do.
Drink guy.
Speaking of which, right on cue. Are
There
you
go.
free?
I'm free.
I could
But you'll fill
use
the water anyway.
I could use a Coke Zero, like nobody's business.
Okay, how many ice cubes?
Un Coca mit Feliz, un Coke Zero mit Feliz.
So extra.
Yeah.
So ice to the top, Coke Zero to the top.
Yeah, actually, one less cube than last time. How about that? Got it? All right. There we go. Scott, who do they like of the following? Rodney Anderson, running back. Emmanuel Hall, wide receiver. Udo Offensive tackle, Ledbetter, defensive end. I thought Ledbetter was taken. Is he not? Defensive tackle, Willis, Coney, linebacker. Is there someone I'm not seeing like a long snapper?
Who said that? Shout out to them. Oh, Asheville. He's been riding with us
Oh, he just
all 3
went.
days.
Minnesota Vikings.
That's a tough one for the Bucks. Though I guess they could have got him in the 5th round.
Yeah.
But hey,
So-
they're taking the best available, which
Right.
for them is a kicker.
Oh
man.
I would say out of that, is Rodney Anderson? I thought he just went. Is he
Let me
still on the
pull
board?
up the draft tracker.
No, I guess he didn't go. Armand Watts went. He was a good player.
Or the 6th round now?
Yeah.
I've been riding for so long. I look up, it's like, oh, like we're
Let's see.
has 50 picks.
I could see Trey Watson from Maryland. It's a possibility. Linebacker. I know they need defensive tackles. I don't know who you would pick at this point. Maybe McCoy staying. I don't know. Should have drafted a receiver. There's going to be plenty of receivers that have not been drafted yet. That
Looking for Adam Humphries 2.0
Yeah.
in that undrafted pool.
Emmanuel Hall is a player that has a lot of deep speed. So is Cody Thompson from Toledo. What happened trading back for more picks? Yeah, that's something they wanted to do, but obviously Matt Gay was just too good to pass up with that first round pick. Dexter Williams, running back from Notre Dame, just went to Green Bay.
I wouldn't hate
Darwin
if
Thompson's
he's
the
still
name to keep in
around
mind.
if the Bucks are going to go offensive line since they haven't yet. Bo, I spoke to him at the Senior Bowl, but I still have a tough time pronouncing his last name. Bo Benchwell.
Benchwell,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind the Bucks taking a stab at him.
Yeah.
Comes from the Wisconsin
Right.
factory.
Emmanuel
of
Hall's a burner,
churning out
good size. I like that.
stars.
He's very much like Rashard Perryman, though. He's got some very questionable hands. He will drop some easy passes. It's gotten a little bit better, but yeah, the hands are the big issue there. Yep, Adam Humphries, $14 million man. Let's see, the Texans pick is in. Let's see here. Oli Udoh just went to Minnesota. There you go. Thank you.
Twice I've actually walked into the next interview room. Lucky they're out of there.
Our scouts must be like the War Room in Moneyball. I haven't watched Moneyball in a while.
I haven't
Go
seen
back
it.
and
I've never
watch it.
seen it.
It's like Jonah Hill's first role where he's not playing the fat funny guy, pretty much.
Is Jonah typecast a little bit?
Well, now he keeps he's fat and then he is skinny and then he goes back to fat and then he's skinny again.
Right.
So he changes his body size like all the time.
Yeah. Good point from Atlas here. Vikings have O-line problems. 3 O-line drafted. Bucks have O-line problems. 0 O-line drafted.
Donut.
I'm telling you this, though, folks. You got to understand. The Bucks, right or wrong, believe that coaching was a big issue last year.
Mm-hmm.
That George Warhop was the problem, not Ali Marpet, not Ryan Jensen, not DeMar Dotson. Caleb Benenoch was a problem, though. But
Yeah,
not
turnstile,
Donovan. Yeah.
some would say. But they've already tried to address
Yeah.
that in terms of just moving him out to tackle.
Yeah, and just hiring new offensive line coaches.
I feel like they're going to be in the same situation next year where it's like, all right, well, now tomorrow Dotson's gone.
Yeah.
What are we going to do at right tackle?
Yeah, because now you got to scramble to fill a hole.
Mhm.
Now you have to start a rookie and all that. So yeah, we'll see.
It's like starting an essay days before it's due instead of the night of. Though I would end up a lot of times just doing it the night of.
Isn't this more a testament to how bad the coaching was with the offensive line under the previous regime, and the new coaches think there's something? Yes, right or wrong, that is what they think. I'm not necessarily saying that that the Buccaneers have a stud offensive line and the coaching was the reason why they were bad. I'm just saying that George Warhop was part of the problem. I don't know if he was like 99% part of the problem or 9% part of the problem, but they're going to be better without George Warhop. How much better? I don't know. I really don't.
And it's another one of those things we can't really find out until a couple games into the regular season.
Yeah.
You know, the preseason
Yeah.
the starters don't play.
Yeah,
and after
And you know what? And the shame of it is, and this is kind of what I tried to impress upon Jason in some of my writings, some of my Fab Fives is if you swear up and down and you firmly believe that coaching was the issue, coaching was the problem, and it's not, and some of this talent is actually overrated, like maybe like Rojo. Like if the coaches think, oh, we can get Rojo turned around, better offensive line blocking will help, and we got Todd McNair, and we'll get Rojo into living up to that draft potential. If it doesn't happen, you're screwed because you're going to find it out in
where do we
September,
go from
October,
here?
and there's nobody to replace him with. So that's the problem. That's the issue.
I think another thing too that you
What do they
gotta
got? They got pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Can I
good?
get some?
Yeah, a couple pieces of pepperoni.
Okay, pepperoni.
Yeah.
Pepperoni.
do they have regular?
They have cheese.
Yeah.
So cheese.
Yes, please. You know, even as bad as the offensive line and particularly the running game was last year, they were still top in the NFL in passing. They were up there in the top rankings for points scored.
Mm-hmm.
So they still got the ball across the end zone despite all their faults.
Right.
And again, some of it's situational where they're down by a ton of points, so all you got to do is pass. But while the offensive line needs to get addressed, there's still a lot of positives to look at the Bucs offense where, yeah, that's why the focus is defense right now.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Like, even if that run game improves, let's just say by a letter grade. Let's just say they were a D last year and they go to a C plus. That will change so much for this team. And same with the defense. If it could go from an F or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, Ken Grant brings up a good point. The real issue is depth in this offensive line, because if DeMar Dotson goes down, if Donovan Smith goes down, if Ali Marpet, your best player, if Ali Marpet goes down, you're having a hard time finding a right guard. Who's the left guard now? You know, if Ryan Jensen goes down and he's not a world beater at center by any means, Evan Smith is Evan Smith is the guy. You know,
for better or for worse, and
probably
more
for
likely
worse.
the latter. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, they're putting an awful lot of stock and faith in Earl Watford coming in and being the starter, and Alex Kappa developing, and Caleb Benenoch being salvageable as a right tackle, which is where he should have stayed. The lack of depth concerns me. I think the one guy that I'm excited about behind the scenes is Reuben Holcomb, who's a guard who could challenge for a roster spot, and he might be a good depth guy, maybe a potential starter down the road. But the tackle position is really what concerns me. I mean, Reuben Holcomb's a guard, but tackle, that's, you know, not that Leonard Wester was even a good player, just an average player, but he's in Jacksonville now. So, Cole Boozer, thank you. Chris Fortune, I appreciate you thanking Edmondson Electric and Security and 72hourprint.com for sponsoring the draft video cast. We appreciate it. And thank you guys for hanging with us here on day 2.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Day 3.
Like interacting with everyone.
Yeah.
Whether they got good or bad things to say.
It's been entertaining. Again, it hadn't been boring. This has been, I don't want to say exciting, but it has been entertaining.
It's moving the chains.
Yeah, and it's been emotional. It's been an emotional roller coaster, this draft.
Yeah.
Seen some excitement, seen some anger, seen some hurt, some disappointment, some sadness,
some redundancy.
The full the full range of emotions have been on display here.
Yeah.
During this draft, and that's I guess not uncommon if you're a Bucs fan. You're kind of a glutton for punishment. You're a bit of a masochist. I'm a masochist for covering this team for 24 years, of which about a quarter of those years have been good years. So I'm in the same boat.
So we can all be emotionally stunted together.
Yes. Time to enjoy a piece of pizza.
All right.
One
One bite. Everyone knows the
Not bad.
rules. This is
Yeah.
Advent Health Pizza. And though it's a very small, small slice.
Yep.
I was actually very impressed with the pepperoni size.
Good.
It's got enough sauce. Not as a little crunchy.
Isn't the
It's not
roster
bad.
today worse than last year? I can't say that.
Where's Atlas? He doesn't know fire.
Don't love the crust.
Someone check on him.
All right, official pizza scoring. I'm gonna go 5.6.
I give it a 6.
That's a rookie score.
Sure.
I'm gonna give it a figure skating score. Yeah, 5.6.
Okay.
Gets the job done. Not really something that's gonna be lights out.
Atlas, I'm here. I'm just,
Why is he betrayed?
man, I feel betrayed.
Oh, for the kicker. Yeah.
He might be worse off now than it was on Thursday.
You guys are great. Only good things about PR, the decisions by the Bucks on the other hand. No.
Muncie, Indiana. Gary.
Oh, yeah,
Larry
his,
Jurgic's favorite vacation.
Yeah, his
spot.
vacation home.
Oh, the Muncie Flyers left the NFL to become an independent team in 1922. How'd that work out?
I love that episode where they play football with Andrew Luck and Andy
Good to
like
meet you, Mr.
catches the
Luck.
pass from him.
The
Well,
secondary
easy guy.
got better. It did. Just by the sheer numbers, it got better because it was bad last year. We called it from the start. MJ Stewart, not a good player. Not fast enough to play in the slot for sure. We'll see if he can transition to safety. Jordan Whitehead,
Yeah.
just a guy. So they needed some upgrades there. They needed to get faster in the secondary, and they did. We'll see how it plays out. Day 3 pizza is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Better than bowling pizza.
Hey,
I didn't say any news.
okay.
Purposely left that out.
You're talking like it's all done. We have 2 more picks. Can't wait. At this point in time, we're frightened that they're going to pick a long snapper. Not ruling it out. And I'll tell you what, shame on me for not having the foresight to do a Bucks best bet kicker.
Yeah,
We could be at
we didn't
3.
do a special teams
We could
edition.
be at 3 hits right now instead of just Jamel Dean and Devin White.
I think it's funnier too that a punter went before a kicker.
Yeah. Mike Johnson. Can't wait. I'm having heart palpitations. I feel a stroke coming on.
Deep breaths, my man.
Yeah.
It'll all be over soon.
Yes, it will.
69 tackles for Amike Igbule in 2018. Pretty nice. Yeah, the Bucks are getting a little closer. 8 more picks.
BA has to be wondering at this point if he made the right decision. Imagine trading Light for Gettleman. Debate that one. Well, I will say that Light, I think, did get the best of David Gettleman in the JPP trade.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look what JPP did for the Bucks last year.
Mhm.
Yeah, Gettleman's one stubborn guy. He's really him and Dirk Cutter would really have a
Yeah.
battle of wits of stubbornness.
He is going down with the ship, isn't he? He's like, I am the captain of the.
As someone who grew up rooting against the Giants, it's kind of a fun thing to see. Not gonna lie.
Listen, JPP, I got a lot of respect for that guy. Guy was banged up last year. He
Mhm.
was hurt. He was hurt. Y'all
Kept
didn't see it.
playing, kept giving it his all.
Y'all didn't see it.
Even the last game of the year
He-
with nothing on the line, he had a sack.
He's a culture changer. He and Devin White are going to be getting along very well.
Bruce Arians is going to love him.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I'll tell you what, to get 12 and a half sacks with as many injuries as that guy went through last year,
Mhm.
if he's healthy, if he's half as hurt as he was last year, he could be a 14, 15 sack guy. Seriously.
Yeah, I know some people are saying, like, oh, JPP's getting a little bit older and stuff like that. I don't think he's going to regress yet.
Yeah, he's still got a couple good years.
I
He
would-
just turned 30. He's still got the flexibility, the speed.
He works out all the time.
Yeah.
He's, a freak athlete in all the good ways.
Culture changer, laugh out loud. Weren't we? Yeah, exactly. But it takes more than one. You got to have, again, when JPP and Bo Allen and Vinny Curry came here last offseason with Super Bowl rings, they're outnumbered. You can have three guys with Super Bowls saying, come on, guys, let's do this. Let's do this. This is how you do it. And you have a losing culture. You have players that just have succumbed to losing. And it's a numbers game. You got to import a Devin White. You got to give guys like JPP backup.
Or even another rookie they drafted, Mike Edwards, coming from
Kentucky.
where they
Turned that
never really
program
had
around.
success. And he
Yeah.
was a big part of having their best season in the pretty much the history of
Yeah.
the school. And a two-time captain,
Mhm.
the only two-time captain under Mark Stoops over there.
JPP was not mediocre last year. JPP was hurt.
He was the
And-
first Bucks player to get double-digit sacks in over a decade.
Yeah. And it wasn't.
How's that mediocre?
It wasn't,
How's that mediocre?
Yeah, and I know sacks, okay, that's 12 and a half plays out of the entire year, but he pushed a lot of sacks towards Carl Nassib, and
Also, 12 and a half sacks is good for, I don't know the exact where he landed, but, top
I wanna say there was-
15, something like
I want to
that.
say there was 8 or 9 double-digit sackers last year. That's
So there you go.
in
He's
the entire
top 10.
league. It's not meaningless. It's not. Trust me. Sure, it's pressure, but listen, pressure's great, but just because you pressure somebody doesn't mean the quarterback doesn't complete the pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they still get hit, but if they get the pass
Of
off,
course.
still-
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of quarterbacks that throw touchdown passes while getting pressured. So at the end of the day, like Warren Sapp said, it's like we get paid to get sacks, not pressures. Just like DBs get paid for interceptions, not pass breakups. I remember Mike Tomlin had a rule when he took over for Herm Edwards. He says, we do not celebrate pass breakups at all. Like no high-fiving, none of this Vernon Hargraves crap. I mean, it was before Hargraves' time.
Mhm.
But no, there's no celebrations until you get the pick. Because that's what DBs are paid to do. Create takeaways. Picking up passes. Your job is to not have the receiver catch the ball. That's the job. That's the first thing is don't let the receiver catch the ball. Second thing is get an interception, take the ball away. That's when you celebrate because otherwise you're just doing your job. So
yeah, pretty much.
yeah, so that's what he said. Sapp was the same way. It's like pressures, like who cares? It's about getting the quarterback on the ground on third down, so the punter has to come on.
And that's
End
one of the most
drive.
frustrating things for any team is when you're a second away from the quarterback. You got your hand out, you're about to hit him, and he just gets the pass off before
Yeah.
you can take him to the ground. It's It's a depleting thing for a defense,
Yeah.
especially on third down.
Yeah.
And it's one of those they always just get the first down by a yard. It's never like, oh yeah, like, this was clear.
Yeah. Now, drinking beer, this is Coke Zero. I'm respectful of the rules here at One Buccaneer Place.
Is that actually a rule? So those are-
Why does Jason Light hate drafting speed rushers? Please give us insight. I got nothing.
Because they'll trade for him instead.
Oh, they got Ryan Fitzpatrick named as the starter over Josh Rosen.
Well, yeah, he's done more. He's more accomplished than Josh Rosen.
I think he's got 3 more contracts in him. Well,
Yeah,
2 after the
Same amount
Yeah.
of playoff.
4-year
wins.
max after leaving.
I was going to say, Ryan Fitzpatrick's not 40 yet. He's only 36. So
He looks 40.
Ken Grant, I mean, again, it's pressures can happen and you can still complete touchdown passes. So, like, I understand the whole analytics side of it, and pressures mean this and that. Vinny Curry is one of the better high pressure guys, and where his impactful plays in Philly, they didn't want him. He comes down to Tampa, he's not that good. He's back in Philly now for a heck of a lot less money. So again, and Jason Light was probably dumb to pay Vinny Curry $9 million or whatever it was for a guy that got pressures but didn't get enough sacks. Vinny Curry was a high pressure guy. Yes, edge rushers don't always pan out. Gaines Adams is one of the fastest defensive ends of his time, and I think ran a 4.6 in the 40. Didn't pan out. He was a speed guy. That's all he was, though, was speed. Daquan Bowers didn't pan out either.
Yeah, Vinny Curry's 24 pressures last year were by far the fewest total since his rookie season.
Yeah.
When he had just 10.
Mm-hmm. But there was a stretch with the Eagles when he only had like 4 sacks, but he was
So in the season with the Eagles, he had 229 pressures.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Mhm.
So to say he's not a pressure guy, he wasn't a pressure guy last year.
right.
His career has been a pressure guy. Basically the stats guy on the side.
Gerald is gone, folks. Yeah, I mean he could be.
Glad they got his predecessor.
We haven't been saying he's going to stay. Travis Homer to the Seahawks. So the Seahawks have Kaysen, right? And then they spent a first-round pick on Rashad Penny, who I was high on until like right after the Senior Bowl. Then I kind of wised up a little bit. See the Bears, where are we at now? Bears are picking.
4 pick, 3 picks.
Oh wow, yeah,
We're getting close.
very.
Feels like
And they turn it. Actually, yeah. And then they do another one.
Bears, Redskins, Steelers, and Bucks.
I'm just like my stomach is turning thinking about the Bucks picking again.
Hey, would you mind proofreading? I did a
Yes, Yannick Ngakoue is the player that I like.
transcribe of
Big
Bruce
time.
Arians was on ESPN, so I did that. Check out the picture too, because I just took the picture with my phone. So I don't know if it's like clear
I'll
enough,
try and find a video of it and screenshot it.
Yeah.
On my phone.
or if anything, we can just take another picture of it.
Gerald Willis has dropped. Yeah, Gerald Willis has dropped. There's some serious questions about
That yeah, that was a little surprising that he's gotten this far. But as we said earlier, anything can happen, and then the Bucks took a
Mhm.
kicker.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's going to be repeated at least 1,000 times by the time Monday rolls around.
Should I go back to sleep or start drinking, David? One or the other. Six rounders don't pan out anyways. Yeah, that's pretty much universal. The higher the pick, the greater the chance you have of panning out. So I started drinking after we got Gay. I started thinking about drinking after they drafted Gay. A really good punter right now. Someone to challenge Bradley Pinion for that job.
Mac Loud or Milk?
Willis at 6. If Duke Shelley from Kansas State, that's two K-Staters. There we go. I wonder if Alex Barnes would be a pick coming up here in the 6th or 7th round.
Mac Loudermilk's drafted. He's gonna have some tough questions. Toughest questions the punter will have to answer.
He's a personable guy.
Yeah.
I'm just messing. I wouldn't go too hard on him.
It's funny, Blake. Yeah, Antonio Brown was a 6th round pick. I actually had him as a Bucks best bet back in the day, and I liked him a lot.
Of course, Tom Brady as well. People don't talk about that enough.
Terrell Davis was, of course. There are some.
Yeah,
there
there's
are
always
some
an
diamonds in the
exception
rough,
to the
but
rule.
You can go back and look, and I think you're going to find maybe 3 or 4 6th round picks out of 32 that are going to be players, and one of those might be a really, really good player like Antonio Brown or Tom Brady, whatever. But it's so rare.
I would love to see Antonio Brown's initial press conference when he first got drafted, and then you fast forward to today.
Yep. I mean, again, Jason Light has done better, and I'm not trying to stick up for the guy. I'm just stating facts. He's done better with undrafted free agents than he has with 6th or 7th round picks. So I'm more interested to see who he's not going to draft than who he is. Let's see, the Bucks might be.
It is kind of surprising Jarrett Stidham went before guys like Tyree Jackson.
Ember Urban.
Flood safety. We have enough corners. I honestly wouldn't hate it if we drafted Tyree Jackson here. Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, he could play offensive line.
They could put him on
special
Coney,
teams, block kicks.
the Notre Dame linebacker wouldn't be bad. Trey Watson wouldn't be bad either. We can sign Miko Grimes. She's more scary at this point.
Be a locker room presence. Pump the team up with the speech.
Stidham already went, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Kelvin Harmon to the Redskins. So
Damn, it's already 4:38.
Yep.
Where's the time gone, people?
yeah. But the good news is we're about to be done because we have this pick and then top of the 7th, and that's it.
Well, and then we have the podcast, and Jason will speak.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Which stay tuned, everyone, for
Yeah.
the podcast.
Yeah, we will be having a new Pewter Nation podcast where if you've missed any of the last 17 hours of this,
Mayhem.
we're going to condense it into about a 35-minute podcast.
I don't think that picture is going to work.
Yeah, that's fine. I
Just woke up and checked out Anthony Nelson, the YouTube highlight reel. The PR chose. The PR choose didn't excite me, but I checked out a few games like Penn State. I'm bored. Yeah,
He played at Raymond James Stadium before
Yeah.
as well. Iowa played at the Outback Bowl.
Terry Jackson, Ledbetter, Willis, Coney, Hall, still some guys. Pick is in for the Steelers. The Bucks will be on the clock.
Bucks are on
More
the-
shooting star? Yes. We might have some more shooting star on the podcast. Why not? I like the North Dakota State running back. Yeah. I think the Bucks like him too. Wouldn't be surprised if we drafted him with the 7th round pick. Ulysses Gilbert. That's the jacked up Akron linebacker.
Yeah.
Just take depth on one of the lines, please. I'm with you, Ken Grant.
I've been asking for it for a
Yeah.
day and a half.
Bucks are on the clock. With this roster, the nightmare schedule, 7 and 9 tops. Yeah, the schedule does not help this year. With the new system on offense and defense and all that, they're really going to have, I think, like the Saints take a step back. They're going to have some help within the division, like kind of crumbling, I think, for the Bucks to make a move.
All right. Pick is in.
Let's see if this computer won't just break right now, like it happened in the 5th round with Mark's computer.
Yeah, which that's a tough break with, all the surprise around the pick.
Yeah. No, actually, he broke the computer. He
broke it?
saw the kicker and
Yeah.
Ginger
Smashed it.
Snap.
Give the people's
Ginger
elbow.
Snap.
Yeah, that's his new nickname, Ginger Snap.
Ginger
That's
Yeah, it
that's
was
been
popping yesterday
that's
in
been the
chat.
best thing out of the video cast is we've got the new
You won't
nickname.
bring it up today?
All right, back to Clearwater Beach.
The pick is in.
Show me.
Terry Jackson. Come on. I'd love to hit one more Bucks best bet on the way out the door. And I think that's all we have left now. I think.
It's Tyree
Yeah.
Jackson.
I think so.
Well, they certainly like to make the fans wait for these picks.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I feel like they've shown the inside the Bucks draft room for every single pick that the Bucks
Yeah,
have made
I know.
until the last pick.
Well, they did it for the 5th,
they
yeah.
did it.
Oh,
Yeah,
did they?
They did, yeah.
Because we couldn't find Jason.
Yeah.
He was probably hiding because he was drafting the kicker.
Yeah.
I can't let these people see me.
Ulysses S. Gilbert.
Ginger Snap rocks. Yeah. Please carry
Scott
over Ginger Snap
Miller
podcast. Wide
from
receiver,
Bowling
Bowling
Green.
Green. Yep. 5'9", 174. He's a 4'4" guy.
Bruce Arians was on ESPN before speaking with Trey Wingo, and they asked him, we know you love to go down the field. Are you going to, and we know you're an offensive guy, are you going to pick another wide receiver? And he said,
Yeah.
we're happy with our speed right now,
Mm-hmm.
but I do love more speed. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see how the board goes.
So
Scott Miller couldn't really go.
So he
more
just
of a
got
common name.
he just got a small guy that Jameis Winston's gonna have a hard time hitting.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Who was Jameis Winston throwing his best balls to over his career? Mike Evans, Kelvin Benjamin, O.J. Howard, Cam Brate.
Mhm.
What do none of them have in common? None of them are 5'9",
Right.
$170.
Yeah, people might say, okay, well, what about
Adam
Adam Humphries? Okay, but Adam Humphries averaged like 10 yards per catch. All his passes were like little curls and they were short passes.
Scott Miller.
He's also a return specialist.
That works. Makes it better.
But I have to admit, I've not heard about the guy at all.
I remember writing about him, during our draft prospect write-up.
Oh, well, I can see why he's a return specialist because he averaged 18.4 yards on kick returns and 5.4 yards on punt returns. Sounds like Adam Humphries.
When you Google Scott Miller, the first thing that comes up is a salon and spa. The second thing that comes up is the University of Tampa directory.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's
He had a good year at Bowling Green last year. 71 catches, 1,148 yards, 16.2 yards per catch, 9 touchdowns. I would think Emmanuel Hall would be better from Missouri. Playing against
would agree.
SEC competition. I'm
there's
just
a lot of
saying.
people that would be better.
Oh, he threw a pass, though, as a senior. Wide receiver pass.
Well,
One of
Bruce
one
Arians
for
likes to do
24
the
yards.
Get
Wildcat.
ready for
Yeah.
best QB on the roster jokes.
Yeah. Again, this is an undrafted free agent here.
Yeah, he only averaged 13.3 yards down per reception, so he's not a downfield guy. He did not return any kicks and only 4 punts in his last 2 years combined.
Yeah.
But he did return a bunch in his first 2 years.
Yeah. Not a fan.
Not at all.
Again, this is a guy that and listen, you're going to hear this from every GM, including Jason Light. Well, when it gets to this part in the draft, you just pick the guys that you really kind of like. Okay, you have to have some intel to say this is a guy that you can get as an undrafted free agent.
This is another bad take in my opinion.
It's awful.
Yeah, I mean, and with only one pick left, it's not like the 7th round pick is going to salvage all the other mistakes.
Yeah.
If we were going to give a draft grade right now,
You could have literally gone and got your 5th round guy and then drafted Gay this round and then drafted this guy next round.
Right.
In 7 picks. You could have literally got an extra 5th rounder out of this draft.
Yep.
And instead you're getting an extra 7th round. Or no, you're not getting anything.
and coming in, he's competing for the
Wide
4th
receiver.
wide receiver. I mean, if you're going to throw him
Yeah.
in with Bobo and Justin.
Yeah, he's basically competing with Bobo and Sean Wilson for return guy, I think.
Yeah, that too. And Bruce Arians said he liked Dare Ogunbowale, so
This is just another.
I guess they're flooding receiver in return as well.
No worries.
Crazy day on the last draft day.
The day 3 disappointment continues.
Might be the podcast name, Day 3 Disappointment. Even though we're covering all 3 days of the draft.
Yeah.
I think the Pewter Nation podcast is going to salvage day 3 of the draft.
It better. I have no pictures of this guy either. It says I can get headshot 5 action, and it's not taking me there.
Blinded by the light. Wake up. And a motor in the night. Blinded by the light.
Deshaun Davis would have been a better pick from Auburn.
I don't know where Mark is, so I guess I'll go check on see if there's a conference call. Peace and love.
All right.
Or I could be back in like 5 minutes. Who knows?
Guy's got some wheels. I'm watching some highlight videos of him, but
See a guy that catches it at 10 yards and takes it upfield. I'm
um,
assuming he's not a guy that goes.
he's running some go routes right now.
Oh, we don't have any picks for him.
I'm trying to find one. He's a speed guy. He's got some wheels. He's a 4.4 guy for sure. Again, can Jameis Winston hit him? He's small. Downfield.
I don't think he's going to be a downfield threat. I think he'll be a slot guy if he even finds time in the rotation. Just off first glance.
Mm-hmm. It's behind the defense. Damn, the Bowling Green quarterback's a gunslinger. I'll tell you that. Again, he's not a bad player. It's just I don't think you need to burn a pick on this guy. Rodney Anderson just got drafted by the Bengals in the 6th round. I don't know that this Scotty Miller kid is special though, and not that you're going to find special necessarily in the 6th round, but he doesn't have much remarkable ability about him.
Oh, God.
Scotty Miller.
Exciting.
I mean, we're looking at this guy's highlight tape here, and okay, he's not bad, but he's an undrafted free agent.
No, somebody was going to draft him in the 7th round if they didn't get him, Scott.
No, they were
Bunch
not.
of the first pick in the 7th round, but still.
Yeah, like if this is your last pick, I get it. Like Rodney Anderson, who is maybe a 1st-round running back if he's healthy, the kid out of Oklahoma that tore his ACL.
Right.
Like the Bengals just took him.
Yeah.
That's a more imaginative pick.
Yeah.
Than this.
So, Mark, do you think that they could have gotten the Matt Gay with this pick, or do you think the Browns would have jumped up and gotten him?
So what?
I agree.
So what? Can you go get the best
Yeah,
undrafted
then
free
you get
agent?
the second best kicker.
So what?
Take this
Right.
guy in 7 picks, and then you get a 5th-round pick.
When you take
Or you get a starting D tackle or offensive guard.
it's a gamble taking a college kicker. We saw it with Aguayo. It's mental, man.
Yeah.
It's just mental. You just don't know.
Yeah, I find it hard to sign a kicker who hasn't kicked a kick in the National Football League.
I can't kick a kicker who said on his press conference he hasn't had to kick a game-winning kick.
I mean,
Did you believe that?
Yeah.
Nick Foltz kicked for 11 freaking years in New York, came here and couldn't do it.
Mark, come here and look at this picture. Should we use this one?
Yeah, that one.
No, hold on.
Jesus. Yeah, it's a shame when our site doesn't have a photo of him.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's a little message.
Can we draft the GM?
No.
All we ask is that you guys really ask Jason some hard questions at the post-draft press conference. There are some more questions than answers, it seems, to this draft.
Give us a list of questions. We can't say we're going to ask them, but what
I
do you
thought
want to know?
I thought I let off pretty good last night, right?
Mhm.
That's a pretty. I've had 2 really good lead-off questions. Them about you've drafted 9 defensive backs since 2016.
Right.
Explain yourself.
First question has to be, what do you say to the fans and the rest of the NFL?
Who desperately did not want you to draft a kicker.
Right. Yep.
You got slide over 50. You can still talk. They can see. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I see they can see. Feel better now.
About the Bucks draft.
No, just my overall health right now.
That's good. So pizza will do that for you.
Hmm.
I really need to take a nap.
Well, that's what cars
Actually-
are made for.
What?
That's what cars are made for.
Cars are made for naps?
Yeah, you just go out the parking lot, set your alarm for 15
Oh,
minutes, and crash.
Yeah. I need to.
I needed to warm up. I was cold.
I need to drink and then take a nap.
Well, we told them to turn the AC up
Yeah,
days ago.
It was like an inferno in here.
yeah, but tonight or today,
It's almost tonight. It's
Chilly.
5:00.
it's 5 o'clock somewhere, Scott,
True.
in Bermuda. Close enough. The thing resizes. Kyle's told you that 5,000 times.
Thanks, Dad. Darwin Thompson there. To the Chiefs.
I had to use a photo the other day that I couldn't use Photoshop with.
Mhm.
It was like 4,000 by 2,000. Looked perfect. Front page. The size was small, though. That's the only reason I used it.
You know who's happy about this pick?
His parents.
Jude I.J. Barima, Bowling Green alum.
God.
Here are the Bucks. Bucks are picking on the clock. Here it is. This is it. This is the last
Finally.
pick.
We can sign off. And if they trade back up, sorry, we're just going to miss it. Because they picked a Ravens guy? What? It's good.
No. Please end this awful day 3 on a high note. Harry Jackson, please give us $100. Give this team some hope.
Their quarterback.
I'd backup quarterback.
God.
Pick is in.
Reynolds, would you save that damn pick and put it up? Stop.
Listen, Dad, don't tell me what to do.
No, it's not Dad.
I'm a rebellious teenager.
The man who runs the website has told you. It's fine. It literally will make no difference. It's your OCD kicking in right
It
now.
is. You're right. Defensive tackle, Terry Beckner Jr.
Woo woo. Go Missouri.
No offensive lineman drafted. There's your 3-tech right there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's McCoy's replacement
Right.
in the 7th round.
You could have drafted.
A lot of
You
players.
could have drafted such a better one in the 5th and then slid the rest of your
Yeah,
picks down.
Gerald-
the round.
Gerald Willis from Miami still on the board.
Wow. Who's best available still kind of any name guys? Gerald Willis obviously is one.
Hey, when are we getting Jason?
Um,
Probably soon, right?
hopefully.
Yeah.
Because that means they're definitely different.
Yeah, let me know.
We'll find out.
All right, so Beckner Jr. is the final pick. And with that, we're going to sign off because we have to get to work now. I mean, we've already been working, but 32 tackles for loss in his career, 123 tackles. He is a penetrating defensive tackle from Missouri, played in the SEC. He's good, depth player. Not a bad pick, I would agree. So appreciate all of you guys out there in Pewter Nation for tuning in to the Edmondson Electric and Security Draft Video Cast here on PewterReport.com. It's been fun. It's been a blast. You can watch it again if you didn't get an update reaction. We'll post it on the website. So this will be in 2 parts because we had a technical glitch right after the selection of Matt Gay, the kicker from Utah, when the football gods did not like that pick, and they kicked us off the internet. So, but we came back to finish strong. Thanks for sticking around, and some of you guys earned some shirts. So when we have our shirts come out this summer, we'll get with you and get those to you. So for Mark Cook, Matt Matera, Taylor Jenkins, and our guests, Rick Stroud, Greg Allman, Jay Retcher, and Riley Allman, I'm
Matt
Scott
Gay.
Reynolds.
Matt Gay says hi.
Oh, Matt Gay says hi as well. And he's excited to kick for you, Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans. So Scott Reynolds signing off for PewterReport.com. We'll have a Pewter Nation podcast later, so check that out. And we'll try to condense
Later this week.
all 17 hours into 35 minutes for you. So thank you very much for watching. Appreciate you checking us out on PewterReport.com, on our Twitter page, Facebook, and Instagram. Getting ready to go watch Avengers Endgame and Game of Thrones tomorrow. So we will see you later and listen to us on the next Pewter Nation podcast. Out.
Out.